Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Crit and Miss on a Tuesday night. We're here with episode 2 of Vecna Eva Ruin. Pretty exciting. We're about to explore a dungeon a little bit more. And we're here with most of the usual suspects. Rob couldn't make it tonight, so Voltari will be stepping out. We'll explain that in game as we get to it. But how's everyone else doing?
Great. We're still alive.
For now.
Yeah, excellent.
No.
Yes. Am I alive? I might not be. I think
Well,
I
you
am.
sound alive.
Yeah. Which means you can hear me. Yes.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. All right, so we'll run through really quickly. We have our usual suspects. We have Sven on the P's and Q's and also playing Qualek the Wizard. We have Elric. He is playing Doc Hovel, the Celestial Warlock. And then we also have the wonderful Gem, and she'll be playing Maurice, the... did you go Wild Magic or Aberrant Sorcery? I can't remember. Aberrant?
You're muted.
I went aberrant.
Yeah, cool. Aberrant Mind Sorcerer. And then, of course, we have Kiran as Auntie Lizzie, the Tiefling Bard. And last but not least tonight, we have Sevs playing Foulchild 4. And he's just a normal guy in a tie-dye shirt with a great big adamantine bar. Or pipe tube thing. So, bit of an eclectic bunch. It's been fun so far. I'm pretty keen to get back into it. But before we do, I need some recaps from you guys. I need you to tell me a little bit about what happened last week, whether it relates to your character or another, or general story. And if I'm satisfied with what you tell me, you'll get a hero point for tonight. So, who wants to go first?
I've actually got something for this.
Oh, go. You do it.
Alright, Elric, then Gem.
Okay, so there was a moment where Qualek decided to give the party a pep talk and a little group activity. HR vibes, not sure if I trust him. Lizzie was very forthcoming with information. Don't know if I trust that either. The kid just hid from the activity. Trust that a bit more. Then that kid went on to actually crush some zombies. Didn't know he had it in him. In the end, we mixed the whites with our colors and they died.
Yeah, you can definitely have a hero point. That was great. In character recollection and everything. Wonderful.
I fucking can't beat that shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, at this point, is there even any point?
You
That's not
fucking
fair.
prick. That
You
is
shouldn't have
not
gone
fair at all.
No. He's not allowed to go first ever again, okay?
Nobody said there has to be a story. Holy fuck.
We need a song? Do we need a song?
Yeah,
Auntie Lizzie does.
shit, okay, alright. Look, let me grab my guitar.
Yeah, you've got time to come up with one while Gem gives us hers for Maurice. What do you got?
Oh, I just saw a lot of things being hurt by a lot of inanimate objects, which was not the vibe I was expecting, which was great. Maurice was just being creepy in the shadows. And yeah, was just like, who are these people? What am I doing? And doesn't get a good vibe of Qualek, actually. He's a bit suspicious. And couldn't get into his mind. So there's some silliness afoot. So yes. Yeah. And no, I do not have a poem or a song. I'll try and come up with something for next time. And you are not allowed to go first next time.
No, that's fair. Look, any format the recaps takes, as long as you're recounting information that is pertinent to what's going on, it counts. So thank you, Gem. You will most definitely get a hero point for that. And I also like that aspect, that spin on Qualek you've got there. Like there could be a little bit of tension or something there. We'll see what happens through the roleplay. Should be fun. All right, who's next?
All right, I'm going to recap. I'm not going to recap what happened last week. I'm just going to recap what happened the week before. So if whoever said new is new. So we are searching for 4 people that have some sort of thing to do with astral projection or something. They said that they couldn't find one of them, and he's supposed to be hidden in this mausoleum of some sort, or they can't divine to get any information on them. We come in, we walk through all the zombies. I fell down onto somebody, and that's as much as I know.
Nice.
I can give you the names. I can give you the names of them.
That's. I mean, if you'd like, you've already got your hero point though, so you don't need to. But you're welcome to add it.
Well, Eldrin, K-Walk, Edrin, Lamberta, Sarsel, Malinov. I think that's Umberto Goblincock.
Yeah, close enough. Close enough. Yeah.
We're going to start calling that person
Oh,
that.
dear.
Should we find them or any remaining pieces of them?
And look, feel free to call them that. Doesn't mean they'll respond to it.
Goblin Cock is your name. No, look, I cannot give you a recap, but I can give you a little bit of insight into what is going on inside the mind of one Qualek. He does not believe in coincidence. We've been sent here, what, to find 4 missing people? No. Providence. He believes in what he told the Lord Protector Never Ember himself. Time is a very thin veil. To have 4 people all go disappearing within such a short amount of time. And then we arrive here in this place, this crypt, and within we find 4, 5 of these undead. This is not a coincidence. I believe this was intentional. Something left behind by someone to deter anyone with a curious mind such as myself from delving deeper within this crypt. What shall we find within there? I'm starting to believe that perhaps this was not a kidnapping, but rather an intentional diversion from someone attempting to shield themselves from divination magic.
And the plot thickens. Very good quality. You also get your hero point. Thank you very much. I like this.
I tried to write a poem. I wasn't very happy with it, and I'm not going to come up with a song on the spot. I need a bit more prep time for that. But what I'm going to do is a bit of tarot reading.
Here we go.
And I'm going to incorporate the events of last time, this time, and future times into this tarot reading. So starting with our first card, this is our past. The 4 of Spades. An aggressive card, a card that represents attacking. We attacked 4 whites during the last session. Our next card is going to represent this session. The 3 of Hearts. It's a card of affection, a card of love,
Threesome.
a card of bonding, and a card of threesomes. But I'm not expecting a threesome to happen in this particular adventure. That might be in a future After Dark episode. In this one, we will see 3 connections form, and also 3 connections broken. And in future episodes, we have the Queen of Spades. Someone is going to be attacked by someone they trust.
What?
Lovely.
What
So
are
that
you all
was
looking at me for?
We don't
3
fucking
hearts
trust you.
and Queen.
We don't trust you though, so how can you be the one?
Oh, right. Because I'm going to be the one who is going to be attacked. It's a good thing I don't trust anyone, yeah? See, that is what will get you killed. Not the undead. No. Friendship.
Well, we will see 3 friendships grow in this adventure.
Can I retroactively purchase 2 items from the shop, a bear trap and a banana? And I can be the one that goes up to Dalek.
Oh dear.
We're going to have words about cultural sensitivity there, Geoff. I'm going to show you a new place where you can put that scalpel, and you're not going to like it.
You may like it though.
Yeah,
Hey,
mate.
Lizzie,
I'm
Yes.
not sure about your proclivity.
you feel the sudden urge to draw 2 more cards. You're not sure why exactly. It feels like it's linked to something that happened in the past.
Excellent. Yes. Do you want me to interpret these cards as well, or just pull them?
Just pull them.
2 of Spades,
2 of Spades, yes.
4 of Clubs.
4 club. Okay. Ooh. Okay. This time, the card you drew again, the Four of Clubs, seems to have. Well, it's a repeater because that's what you drew the first time.
It is.
So you are feeling drawn to pull 2 more cards. You don't.
No,
though.
I pulled the Four of Spades the first time.
Oh, my bad.
We attacked 4 whites.
Yeah,
Clubs is not an attacking suit. Clubs is
no, my bad.
a defensive suit.
In that case, whoops! I remembered them wrong.
We got 4 of spades. We got 3 of hearts.
Ooh.
We got Queen of Spades.
Okay, cool. So, the Four of Spades. You confronted these 4 creatures. Well, they confronted you rather, and you were forced to fight them to defend yourselves. As a result of the lingering magic in the weave, you can feel that if you pull the strings in just such a way, and if you pluck your lute strings in just such a way, you might be able to effectively balance the scales. So mechanically, for the next 8 hours, whenever you or a creature within 60 feet of you is about to roll a d20 with advantage or disadvantage, you can use your reaction to prevent the roll from being affected by that advantage or disadvantage.
Interesting.
So you
Will
can
you tell me
neutralize.
if an enemy is using that roll?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Absolutely. Let me just make a note of that. Okay, and then
It's one use. Use it once and it's gone.
no, it's for the next 8 hours.
Okay, cool.
Yep. It doesn't say it's only once. Just says the next 8 hours. Whenever that happens, you can do that. No further things. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
The Three of Hearts. Now, the closest I can give you to that from what I'm looking at.
Oh, are you looking at the deck of wonder?
Yeah.
I was just doing tarot reading. I wasn't.
I know, but I'm rolling with it, man.
Cool.
Yeah. So it seems that maybe the planes are smiling on you because perhaps it's a result of vanquishing these evil creatures. Perhaps it's just for the bravery of setting forth in a place that is a little bit weird. I don't know, but 10 small gemstones. They're probably white in color. They appear at your feet, just there on the ground.
All right, go to pick them up.
You pick them up without any trouble. As for the other one, well, that was the future. You'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yep. And you very much do get a hero point.
Oh, thank you.
So with that, I believe everyone has done the thing.
Yes, we certainly have done a thing. Before we get started, this is lovely ambience. Where did we get this from?
Oh, this would be from Tabletop Audio.
What? I've never heard of it. What is that?
Uh-huh. What do you mean you've never heard of it? You've heard of it,
Never
but
heard
we need to make sure that other people have heard of it. Tabletop Audio is an awesome website that you can go to get all sorts of different audio for your tabletop RPGs. It's not just fantasy stuff. There's sci-fi and modern stuff as well. It's got a whole soundboard thing. We're just downloading the stuff and loading it through above VTT. But if you want to use it at your table at home, it's really cool. And it's all the tracks are like fade in, fade out, so it all flows nicely. There's no sudden jarring stops, and so far all the music's been really nice.
Yep. It's pleasing for your audio holes. So if your audio holes are needing ambience to stuff them, make sure you check out tabletopaudio.com. I don't know how I always manage to make every announcement sound like something that it isn't, but it's just kind of the way I'm built, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to play some Dragons and Dungeons, or whatever this game is called.
Sounds good to me.
So,
Ooh.
shall we say?
All right. I need one more thing from Kiran before we start. Can I please get a D100 roll from you, Kiran?
Sure thing.
I can turn on the deck of Plane of Ruin.
51.
Pull off.
51. Okay. All right. Let's have a look. See. Okay, cool. Thank you. Excellent. All right. Well, I think what we need to do. You said deck of Plane of Ruins active, Sven?
The deck of Plane of Ruin is active, so as soon as someone wants to draw a card, yeah, we'll see what happens. For those people who are new to the channel, the deck of Plane of Ruin, you can redeem your crit coin live on Twitch and draw a random card, which adds a random effect to tonight's game. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Last week we had, what was it? I've forgotten the name of it. The astral plane one, I think it was.
Psychic Overload.
Psychic Overload. Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah.
And that came in real handy with killing these undead. So, yeah.
So I'm not wasting any time. We have determined that the DM and players can each once a game draw a card from the deck of Plane of Ruin. I've already drawn one. What do we got, Sven?
Alrighty then. Let's have a look. We have Scorching Tide from the Plane of Fire. When combat begins, all creatures gain vulnerability to fire damage until the end of the encounter. Fire damage dealt by spells or effects is increased by 1d4. So not only are you going to take more damage from fire, you're also going to be vulnerable to it. So you're going to be taking additional extra damage. So lots of fire damage. And Qualix,
Yeah.
Whew,
Okay,
is it just me or is it hot in here all of a sudden?
I feel like the ambient temperature in the catacombs just gone up by 2 or 3 degrees. Yeah. All right. So with that, just a reminder: if you have fire resistance and gain vulnerability, that will cancel out, and you'll just receive regular damage.
All right. So, good thing I have
All right.
resistance to fire. Yeah, that one off. No.
Resistance to fire.
Well, with that,
Oh, you do, don't you?
yeah, that's why I said it, because I knew that at least Lizzie did. All right, so moving over to the catacomb map now. It's loading in all the tokens. It's taking a moment, but that's okay. I'm going to zoom in. So we've got a bunch of dead whites on the ground. Now, Child 4, I think it's best to start off with you. We discussed where you were going to be at from here, so bunch of dead things on the ground. You
I'm
might
so
have had a bit to do with it.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Try to pick up the metal, the stone sarcophagus, throwing it, getting all the bits, trying to put him back as best as possible. The jawbone goes in, slides to the right, arm bones go in. Like, I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do this. I just been kidnapped and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know why I'm here. As my other hand is like rifling through their pockets, like.
Nice. All right. And Doc Cobble, what are you doing while this is going on?
I am chuckling to myself while I just kind of casually amble over, push the lid kind of into place to make myself a little seat, and sit on it and sip on my my mysterious liquor bottle.
All right, no problem. So as you're doing that, like sort of as Doc Cobble's back turns and Flower Child falls down on the ground doing all of this, Beltari looks like he's about to say something. And like no one that's up at the top of the stairs will see this. No one that's down at the bottom of the stairs will see this because they're not looking. But behind him, this kind of weird rip opens, sort of pulls itself apart, and beyond it, you can see some kind of fiery hellscape, and he's just sucked into it, and it's gone. For the rest of you, you know he's pretty stealthy. So you may not notice what's up straight away, although I will say, Maurice and Qualek, you will immediately notice something amiss in the weave, and the pass without trace spell that was active is no longer. With that, Qualek.
Yeah, as Qualak feels that shift, maybe that's also the catalyst that enacts the Scorching Tide card as well, that allows that elemental magic to sort of seep into this area where we're in. And Qualak sort of holds his hand up and like sort of looks at the back of his hands, just feeling something slightly different. And then maybe we see like a drop of sweat start to roll down his brow, so he just like quickly wipes it away and rubs it on his robe. And Maurice is still standing next to him. Maurice visibly cast spells last episode, right, Jem?
I believe so.
Yep.
Well, it would seem that there's more to you than would meet the eye. Nobody move. Nobody touch anything. We don't want to
I'm
contaminate.
just sitting on one of the sarcophagi going, glug, glug, glug.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
You're okay. Keep doing what you're doing, but you put the arm on backwards.
It's in his mouth. It's in his mouth. I done a cut. I can't find his shoulder. I think his shoulder's gone.
Did that young man just disappear?
Quite
Wait, we had a young man?
Are we all here? Yeah, you're all young men to me. Did that young man just disappear?
Excuse me.
Where is he?
Lizzie's an old woman.
Not old. Not old.
We're probably are we the same age?
I am a woman. We're not the same age. We are
57, she's
not
over the
the
hill.
same age. No, all right.
She's well over that hill.
I'm in a very delicate position here. But I'll say we're not the same age, but I am a woman.
All right.
You can always be brothers and sisters.
It's important to establish how old we are before we move on, so that we don't have any more misunderstandings about how old we are. So let's go around the room. We'll find out. Just say a number, how old we are. I think I'm going to choose someone at random. You. And he points at Auntie Lizzie.
I'm 57 years young.
57. Okay. Now point someone else random. You. Points at Maurice.
107-ish.
Oh, you've aged quite well. So, pretty close. Now, everyone, if you could just be quiet for a moment.
I feel like those two numbers aren't very close. I feel like you've got about a distance of 50 years, really, between those two numbers.
Once you get to this age, though, age is just a number, isn't it, Lizzie?
No. Age is not just a number. We're not the same age.
Look, it's all about perspective, you know. It's looking from one angle, it looks the same. Look for another angle, it's something entirely different. Look, it doesn't matter how old we may or may not be. What matters is no one move, because I'm trying to find out what's going on here. So stay silent. And Qualek would like to have a look around the entranceway to the tomb, and he is looking for any signs of magical spell casting that may have brought these things to life.
Maurice is not going to listen to you and is going to walk towards Doc Hovel and see if he can have some of what he's having.
We're supposed to be silent and we're not supposed to move and be silent?
Yes. Do not move and do not say anything at all. Have you ever heard of the game Dead Fish?
No, I've heard of Dead Horse.
Not until I talk to your ex-wife.
Is that something that's like really old? Is that old people play that?
I'll tell you the rules, and let's see who can win at a game of Dead Fish. You see, you have to lie down on the ground. And
I can't.
I'm not lying on the ground. No, I'm not lying.
Say anything and not make any noise, and whoever can stay silent the longest wins.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I don't know what to do with these people.
Speaking of you being so sorry, Flower Child, while you're apologizing to these piles of bone and ash and bits of armor and weapons and stuff, you do come across a couple of things.
Oh.
Right, so one of their swords, it's a long sword, and it seems to, like, it doesn't look much different than the others, but it just has a sense of, like, some kind of foreboding aura around it. The other thing you find in one of their quivers is a set of 5 arrows that appear to be sort of in a separate little compartment, and they appear to be of very high quality compared to the others.
Cool. Yeah. Throw.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a longsword here? Can I see? No.
No.
No, I mean,
The only-
some
the
people
only
say
one
my
that-
sword is a little wider than it is long.
Have you got a stumpy penis? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I will call it more of a broadsword.
Well, I don't use any of them, so I'm just gonna, like, as loud as possible, just clang this sword in towards Doc Hovel and the arrows, as if I'm not nonchalantly, like, as if I didn't even notice me picking it up and me throwing it away, but I'm still saying sorry to the things, trying to put them back together.
Yeah,
like,
nice. Yeah.
just trying to scoop up all the bones that are broken into like a little pile, like a bone pile type thing.
Yeah, dig it. One thing I will get as well as Doc Hovel, like, you're not really investigating them per se, but give me a perception check.
Okay. With my
Perception will
massive
do.
plus 0. Ooh, I rolled a 19.
Very good roll. All right, so you sit down on this sarcophagus here, and so what you'll notice about these is that, so these stone coffins, they're sitting sort of on sturdy shelves, right? So you're sitting fairly up in one of these, and most of the lids are actually already off, and you can see that there are remnants of like burial shrouds and maybe a few bones and stuff, but for the most part all of the bodies are gone. You can only assume perhaps torn apart by something. What you will notice is that to your left, so in the south wall in the corner, that particular tomb doesn't have any of these same remnants in it. Like the top's off of it, and it's a bit busted on the side so you can see into it, and there's no signs of burial shroud bones, anything like that there. So I'll give you that. Now, Sven, you were looking around at the entrance and around where you are to look for signs of what happened with these wights, like what summoned them, where they're here, magical, significance, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so
Yes?
I mean, we already know that it's kind of common to have zombies, maybe skeletons, maybe a stray ghost every now and then in a cemetery like this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a magical world after all, but wights are a little bit more substantial than your average zombie or ghost. So he wants to, see if there's any evidence of sort of intentional arcane trickery going on, whether someone raised these things intentionally, what their point of origin is, maybe any traces of spell components or ritual spell casting, or even just any lingering magical signatures that may be still present.
Yeah. And so you're doing this just with skills at this point, not casting any spells?
Well, the first thing he wants to do is try and determine if that's the case. The second thing that he would like to do is test whether or not this place is under the effect of a little spell that he is actually privy to as well, called Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum, which is a spell that allows people to create an area that is protected against divination magic. He wants to know, because, it was Neverember's priests, right, who told us that they were unable to gain access to find the missing people with scrying or anything along those lines. So he'd like to test that theory.
Okay. would one of the spells you could cast to test this help you in the first thing you're trying to do, like determining the nature of the whites and such? Do you think? Is there a spell you could use that would double up? So maybe you can knock off 2 birds with 1 stone.
I mean, mostly it's about seeing things. I mean, I was going to test a spell called Augury, because it's one of my lower level divination spells.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And I can also cast that as a ritual.
Okay, do you want to take the time to cast it as a ritual? Because that'll give these guys time to be doing other things while you're doing that.
Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah? Alright. So first give me Arcana and History. Because I can see reason for both.
Alright, so...
and then we'll get you started on that ritual.
Okay. On the
I'm
Arcana...
so tempted.
Is it 29?
I'm so tempted.
Yeah.
After 5 minutes, just tap him on the shoulder and go, "Hey, mate, are you okay? Are you not?"
Don't touch me! Go back to putting the bodies back together again. That one's still a mess. Clean up after yourself, for fuck's sake. And the history is a 21. So 29 and
Alright,
21.
Well, this is pretty easy for you, especially since it kind of lines up with your field of study in a way. Whites are a creature you're quite familiar with. They are generally... so they were once mortals, and they were driven by dark desire and great vanity. And so when creatures such as this die, their soul calls out to one god or another in order to continue living. Undeath is usually the reward. So these creatures are generally either created at death or deliberately created by leaders of, evil intent that use undead minions. So these things are definitely here with purpose. Especially considering where they were right at the entrance. Whatever's in here is probably using them as some kind of guard.
Yeah, and that's kind of what tipped him off to it as well. Like, that this isn't just some kind of coincidence. And as he's sort of like looking around and contemplating these things as well, he's like, "Wait! Don't touch that one." And he goes over towards it, and he actually pulls out like a little knife, and he starts cutting strips of flesh off of the finger bones and like cleaning whatever remaining flesh is on like the finger bones. And he's actually going to use those bones, the knuckle bones and finger bones and maybe some out of the ankle, as the material components for his casting the augury.
Cool. Is there a check you have to roll with augury?
Let me have a look, Skiers, at the spell augury, and I can tell you a little bit more about it. Send that to the game log for you as well. No, there doesn't look like there's any check I need to roll. Basically, it just says, "I receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. And I'm guess that action, maybe it's either, delving deeper into this. It may be smacking foul child over the back of the head, or maybe the action is just trying to determine whether or not there is some spell that's blocking divination here." But
cool, no problem. Well, you will be working on that now. It says casting time 1 minute. That's its normal casting time, is it?
Yeah.
And then ritual is 10 minutes on top of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Alright, so you'll be doing that for the next 10 minutes or so. Now, I believe Maurice went over and hit up Doc Hobble for a drink and then has wandered over to this doorway, which reminds me that I kind of left a little bit of the description out. So, the stone stairs that you descended from the mausoleum come down into this large subterranean chamber that you're in. You've got the stone coffins on the sturdy shelves. Part of the west wall has collapsed and there's an opening into another chamber, as you can see there. So through that entryway, because you've had a bit of a peek through there now, you probably have been able to see some of it.
Not at this stage yet. I was
No?
actually
Okay.
wanting to cast Detect Thoughts.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that can be done. Are you going to subtle spell this or anything, or are you just going to cast it?
No, I'm just going to
Willy-nilly?
cast it because I've noticed that one of our crew's missing,
Yep.
and that, I think that it's definitely worth having a look.
Cool.
Yeah, because it's within 30 feet, so that would just sort of show if there's another sentient being in the next
Yeah.
room as well, as long as there isn't a big barrier. So,
Yep. Go for it. So so you can cast that. I totally
Yep,
forgot to
just
do
at
that
second
initiative
level.
thing I was going to do, but this seems to be working anyway. So
Yep.
you said 30 feet. All right.
Yep.
The only sentient beings you can detect within 30 feet of you are your currently visible companions. So there's no sign
Okay.
of Eltari, and there's no sign of anyone else within 30 feet.
Yeah.
And there's
And-
also no sign of Qualek.
Oh, yeah,
Yes, because
actually,
I can't-
that's true. Yes.
So Maurice, being Maurice, is just going to he's sort of shiftily moving towards the other room, trying to puzzle out what's going on,
Mhm.
while not leaving the group.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, a little
Alright,
bit.
So, so you can peer into that. I'll read out the room's description because you can peer in there easily enough. So there are roots protruding through the cracks in the ceiling, and there's a stone stairway in the southeast corner that has collapsed, and the nearby walls have crumbled. 3 doors in the north wall are shut, and the middle door bears a new padlock. To the west, there are stairs that lead to a small balcony that overlooks the room from 5 feet above, with just enough room for a door painted with an eye.
Ooh.
Ominous.
Lizzie,
Now, Annie, Lizzie, you go.
Lizzie, your brother, your older sibling has just got into the other room.
I mean, you give my parents too much credit if you think that we're related. In
Yeah,
terms
is
of
anyone
the relation-
coming?
Yeah, I'll come. All right.
Doc, bring the booze. Bring the booze.
Why didn't
This
you
is
bring
gonna-
your own?
I wasn't expecting to come. I was just called upon, and here I am.
This is
I'll
gonna
fix you up
walk
later.
into the next room.
And before I go over there, I just want to have a quick peek in here, because I remember, something being different about it. It was not like the other coffins. Because it didn't have the same shit inside as the others.
The burial shrouds.
You're muted, Mark.
My bad. So now that you've actually actively looked, your check before was good enough. You notice in here that everything's, there's nothing. It was an empty coffin. In the back of it, you notice a small panel with a latch on it.
Panel with a latch.
Hmm.
What happens if I open the panel?
You want to try and open the panel?
I'm going to try to open the panel.
All right, nice one.
Sure, I'm going to regret this.
I love how
That's
Qualek's
silly.
like, don't touch
Anti-personnel
anything. Everyone's just running around, pressing buttons.
Right. So you,
Maurice is like, I'm gonna come back you up, but he's taking like 5 hours. He's like,
you flip the switch and you hear as stone starts to shift. The coffin itself lowers kind of into the ground in front of you, and then the wall sort of slides open, and you. Hang on, let me get the right bits. Reveal a secret passageway.
Hey guys, I revealed a secret passageway.
It looks very much the same as the rest of it. It ends about 20 feet along the ways, and you can see quite obviously another latch similar to that one on this side, as if this might be a similarly designed secret entrance on the other side as well. So you've revealed another way through. Let me just also finish up with the room that the others have started to move into. You're starting to split a little bit there.
I absolutely hate that I can't see where they go when they disappear into the darkness.
Lizzie,
Yeah,
Lizzie.
right. And as you step into this room, I will reveal, it doesn't say it in the description, but there is another passageway that kind of goes south from the wall near the collapsed stairway in the southeast corner.
Mark,
so
I
yeah.
think Maurice would continue. He'd be like, let me, and he's going to just try and detect if there's any thoughts.
Right.
Just put his hand up to his head and look like he's concentrating.
Cool. So now that we're starting to split up a bit and things are getting a bit more chaotic, I will get you all to roll initiative. As I said in the little description thing, you can still talk freely, get other people to help you on your turn. Like you can do stuff off turn, but I want to try and keep it so that there's only like one set of like, if you're going to do something to affect the world, you've got your action economy to do it, and you can only move as far as you could, just to try and keep things a little bit, cool. All right. So up the top we have Flower Child 4, who's moving into the room behind you. So what I will do is you said you're doing the thought thing. I'll give you that before we process. Still nothing within range.
Okay.
Cool. No problem. So, Flower Child 4. As you move into the room, it's fairly quiet. It is, as I've described. Now, you've got a torch or some kind of light, you got the dark vision emblem thing now, right?
Yeah, I got the dark vision.
Yeah, you'll be able to see all the doors. There's the 3 in the north. There's the stairwell up to, like some kind of little balcony thing.
You said there was an eye there, didn't you?
Yes, there's a door behind them.
Have I seen this eye prior?
Roll me a history check.
Can I help them with the history check?
You absolutely may. Although
I think that's cool.
Do you know what
this is yeah. All right, now I'll give you that. Are you proficient in history?
Me?
Yeah, Lizzie.
No, I am proficient in history.
All right, roll me a history check, and this will determine whether you can give advantage to Flower Child 4 by helping to, talk about and hopefully jog his memory a little more. That's good enough. All right, yeah. Go ahead and roll again, Flower Child 4. That'll be your advantage roll.
30.
Good enough. So this is going to take a moment, folks, but as you see the eye, it is naggingly familiar. And as you focus on it some more, especially with Auntie Lizzie's encouragement of like, hey, like, does that look familiar to you at all? Like you really try and think about it for a minute, and for a moment, to the rest of you, it's going to look like Flower Child just is standing there, but his face has gone blank.
So
Flower Child 4 for you, no. Yeah, except he's not moving now, or crying about being kidnapped or anything like that. Flower Child 4 for you, you're going to get the briefest of flashes of your commune aflame. One figure stands out to you, leading the forces that have set your commune on fire. It's a tallish, kind of bulky figure, not human, but definitely humanoid. Kind of shaggy hair, dark armor, kind of maybe chitinous armor. Seems to be wielding some kind of like divine but not light magic, like some kind of death magic. And you see emblazoned on the breast of his armor this eye, this very same eye. And then you flash back.
So Flower Child just stands there, just slightly rocking back and forth a little bit as he's... Go on, sorry.
No, you go. Finish. Sorry.
No, go on.
I was just... Can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
That's what I was gonna... Yeah, that's just gonna... 12.
As you come to, standing next to you is the figure you saw in your vision. You feel the anger rushing over you.
Do you remember does this ring a bell?
Is the figure that burnt my commune down talking to me at this precise moment?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember it?
So, what you see is a Flower Child 4 is, you asked everybody's age. Flower Child 4 is roughly 18 to 19 years old, give or take. But as he gets rocked by this information, you can see his face start to darken as if he's grown 20 years older. He starts getting hunkered, and you can see there's a slight shadow going across his face as you can hear the clang finally of this pipe hit the deck as he starts to wield this as he goes into a rage. Oh, fucking hell.
Fool? What's going on?
You
All right.
You killed everyone. You killed everyone.
What
As his voice changes.
I promise I don't know what you're talking about. Can we talk about it?
There's no talking. There's no talking about this. 3, you killed everybody. 3 is death. Death to all. I'm swinging.
Okay. So Flower Child 3.
No, just 3. Just 3 now. There is no Flower
just
Child.
3?
Just
All right,
3.
so 3.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get ready to start swinging.
Yep.
But all of that took a bit of time.
Yep, cool.
All right. So, Qualak, we're going to move on to you. What I want to say is I'm not trying to trigger PvP here. This is very much a story roleplay kind of thing, so you don't have to roll dice and actually fight, right? Like, this is part of your backstory coming out, so don't feel like you guys have to roll dice and actually hurt each other.
No. So what I do have as a barbarian though is I have thing is mindless rage. So any type of outside thing into my brain, actually as soon as I goes into rage, it comes out, and I just drop it.
Okay, cool. Well, in that case, the moment you go into that rage, 3 doesn't see the figure that triggered this. 3 sees Arnie Lizzie. And how do things work? Does 3 recognize Arnie Lizzie as like? Cool.
She hasn't hurt me, but what he can see, he can see the rage change. But as soon as the rage comes and this drops off, he just pops back up and goes, "Oh, there's an eye." As Flower Child 4.
Okay, great. Love that. That's perfect. So that happens rather than getting into a scuffle, right?
I'm going to say that Ani Lizzie, even though it's not necessary, Ani Lizzie did cast shield in that moment.
Nice, love it.
So I'll use the spell slot.
Yeah. Perfect.
I have to use one of my rages.
Is everything okay?
Huh? Yeah, there's an eye.
Do you know where we are?
Yeah, I've been kidnapped. I've been kidnapped in a dungeon. All right, so where are we going?
All right, with that.
Can I roll an insight check on that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let them play this out. What I'll say is like, Qualek, since we're in like sort of like initiatives, Qualek's going to spend the next 60 rounds casting his order.
Oh yeah, you're doing the
so just a little bit of insight.
Right,
he's like, his eyes are rolled into the back of his head. He's etching runes into these finger bones that he pulled off one of these whites, and he's like drawing circles onto the floor and connecting them with these strange lines with like arcane runes sort of around them. And every now and then he'll toss one of the bones, and like almost like it's magnetized, it sort of goes into one of the circles, and he's doing that for the next 60 odd rounds.
Right. Well, what I want to say then is, since we're using the initiative as more of a sort of keep things tracking and flowing and stuff, I don't want it to slow the time up like that for you. So let's say 2 rounds, or something, or whenever feels,
whatever
right.
Feels
it's not going to be
good.
locked
Yeah,
into
right
that.
now they've got much more interesting things going on. So let's.
Cool. Yeah.
I'd like to look at. So I rolled a 19. So what do I get insight wise?
Yeah, Flower Child 4 is there's an eye. He completely.
I'd like to look at the eye and sort of check to see if there's some sort of magic behind it, or if there's if it's charming or doing anything of that nature.
Alright, cool. Do you have a detect magic, or you want to just do an arcana?
I don't have a detect magic. I don't think I'll be able to ascertain it like in a precise sense, but I'm hoping through my understanding of the weave, I can get at least just a genre.
It doesn't. Oh, hang on. Let me just.
That's a 7 on arcana, so not the best roll.
Yeah, but I mean, look, it looks like a painted door.
All right.
There's no overt signs of anything to do with the weave or any magics or any, enchantments or anything. It's just a painted door. Now, with that, Doc Hobble, I dare say from where you're at, you're probably more interested in the tunnel in front of you than what was going on over there with Flower Child and Auntie Lizzie.
Yeah, given my passive perception, I probably wouldn't even known it happened.
Yeah. All right, we'll skip. We'll come to you in a second. Then I just want to make sure we're good over here. So, like, just to confirm, Lizzie, when you did the insight, like, Flower Child completely believes everything he's saying. Like, he's not lying to you. He's just like, hey, there's an eye. There's not even a hint of deception coming from him. It's almost as if he has he's oblivious to what just happened.
I'm gonna point to his club, his adamantine bar, which is sort of positioned in a position of attack, I assume. I'm gonna
Very
say,
much so.
You want to put that away?
Oh, fell. Must have fallen. Up on the shoulder. No worries.
Sweet. Alright,
and Lizzie's just gonna back away just a little bit.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, must have fallen.
Yeah. So you guys are sussing out those rooms, or that room, and then Doc Hobble and Maurice are over here this corridor. So Doc?
Yep.
And Maurice?
Yeah, I'd be. I would have heard it, and especially because I have the detect thoughts on, and it was still within 30 feet. Maurice would have tried to detect if there was another presence when that happened, or whether it was all in his head.
Oh yeah, you are definitely within 30 foot.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So it's all right. So without causing rolls, so it's surface thoughts. So Sevs,
I can go deeper if I want to.
Yeah. So we'll get Sevs to describe the surface thoughts, and if you want to go deeper based on that, we can look at that. So Sevs, what do you reckon surface thoughts would have sounded like or looked like to Maurice?
So you wouldn't hear like. It's not like thoughts and stuff. It's pictures, just flashes of pictures on top of each other, like almost like a comic book. So you see fire, you see feet, you see dead people, you see a knife, you see a person standing there with this eye on his chest. You have a number, just a 3 in your mind, and it's something like protection, death. These of all these different pictures just on top of each other. And that is it, and then he kind of clicks out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think ordinary, like the contrast to that being like Flower Child's otherwise pretty just like
there's just fucking white noise in Flower Child's head.
Yeah. So yeah, you would definitely pick up on that. Do you want to try and dive deeper? Or is that enough?
Yeah, no, I think he'd want to dive deeper just to see whether this is legitimately what's happening, because he was ready to do calm emotions as well, to protect Auntie Lizzie. So he's sort of in the other side of it. He's going to keep his distance, but he is worried that this might. He doesn't know this group very well. We don't know which is the real person.
So. All right. So what we're going to do, because it's PvP, I'm going to borrow from Sven here. Sevs. It's up to you whether you automatically pass the save, automatically fail the save, or roll for it.
Well, I'm going to give it a roll because I don't want to say I automatically pass the thing. Yeah. What is it? What do I have to roll? Is it wisdom?
It's just, just so that if people aren't comfortable, I don't know, that's, Jem, what's the save on that?
I don't know.
Let's have a look.
I think it's
wisdom 18.
Holy shit, not a chance. Holy fuck, not a chance in the world. Oh, I know nothing.
Okay, so now if he fails the save, Jem, does he notice when you probe deeper, or are you able to do so undetected?
So on a failed save, you discern the target's reasoning, emotions, and something that looms large in their mind. On a successful save, the spell ends. So either way, the target knows that I'm probing into their mind, and until you shift your attention away from the target's mind, the target can take an action on its turn to make an intelligence arcana check against your spell, ending the spell on a success. So he'll know that I'm rummaging around in there, but he'd be looking at him going, are you okay? And it would sort of be clear. Yeah.
So you would have maybe done that while it was all dark and twisted and weird shit going on?
Yeah, he would have been straight away. He was ready to do calm emotions, but first he tried to get into his mind.
Okay.
All right, so...
do you want me to describe what you see?
Please.
So, if you can, thank you.
Yeah. So you see as you dive deeper, you've got these pictures on top of each other. And then when you dive deeper, you see like a little shed. So it's a shed, it's like a little shack that's allowing firelight to come in from the outside. The light is coming from the ceiling and it illuminates a chair, just a simple wooden chair. But where the light is coming from, you can see hanging feet that go nowhere after the ankle. But on the chair, like crouching on top of the chair, you see this small figure, like Flower Child 4, but older, darker in the face, and crouched, as he's not just sitting on the chair, he's just sitting on this chair in this beam of light.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you communicate any of this to us?
Are you still in there when he? Sorry, Maurice. Are you still in there when he kicks out of the rage?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering too whether Maurice would have seen the other person in there too, and been able to pick up on what's happening there. So whether it was actually a presence or whether it was something that was triggered in you, I don't know, Mark. Whether that's something that's possible. Yeah.
I think I feel like the person sitting on the chair was kind of like a connected description. Yes, that you were talking about, Sevs?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like what you saw when you were diving deeper was, like you're looking at the person who was present then, the raging person, right? And you've seen this as you've gone deeper. So that's what you've seen. I think you can maintain the connection if you wish to, because he failed the save. So that as the transition happens, you would maybe if you want to get a description of, is there anything deeper in Flower Child 4 or...
So what you see when you're looking at this creature, or this hunched creature sitting on the chair, you just feel rage. He is anger. He is death. But he is protection. And he is what protects. And then as he slips out, you can see Flower Child 4 come in from the light. From in the light, and helps the person off the chair and kind of pushes him out and then sits back on the chair.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And you can see him sit on the chair, and then everything, it's just the zest for life has come back. He's scared because he is kidnapped by you guys, but the zest for life has come back, and he's like happy, and like it's just happy. He's just like a very, very genuine, no bad bone in his body, except for when he obviously accidentally kills things.
So I imagine that Maurice would be able to see all of this and discern that it was a sort of a flip into that situation and a flip out. And then he would go and try and talk to Flower Child. I don't know whether Flower Child 4 would be interested in talking, whether he remembers anything. And he'd just look at Auntie Lizzie and be like, "Are you okay?" Little
right. I want to give Elric a chance to explore this other thing here. So if you want to be wandering back over, we'll come back to that in a second. So Doc Hobble, secret passage.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn to Maurice and say, look, you don't have long left. You want to explore it first? but obviously Maurice is going to be distracted by her therapy. So I'm just going to look at my, look at the Drake on my shoulder, not Drake, the little fella, and I'm just going to peek my head in and have a look, if I may.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, it's a straightforward corridor, much like the rest of the place, made of stone. You can fit through there easily enough. There's another panel on the far wall that looks very similar to the one that just opened this door. That looks like another, passageway kind of switch. About 20 feet.
Well, that's got trap written all over it. So, I'm going to call out to HR Monkey, and I'm going to say, hey, HR Monkey, which way do you think we should go?
Don't disturb me. Shh.
Yeah,
9 minutes.
I like his,
9 minutes into his spell.
I'll cast Fireball so quickly.
Maurice has walked his way over and now he's walking his way back. He's just taking his time.
Yeah. Sure. All good.
And I imagine, Doc Hovel, if you make your way back over to where Quirlek is as well, in the meantime, he's sort of painted, maybe he's had like a little vial of this yellow chalky material, and he's sort of mixed it with a bit of water from his flask, and he's made like this yellow paint, and he's drawn a circle in the middle and then 4 circles around it, and each one of those circles has one of like a finger bone in it, and there's like a bunch of arcane words, and like at the top it's got whale, and at the bottom it's got woe. So closer to you it's like got woe written around it. The top one's got or wheel or whatever the fuck it is, and he's sort of in the center of the circle, and he's got like an incense stick, and he's got another one of those bones, and he's blowing the smoke of the incense over this bone, and you look at the bone, it's got all these tiny little runes carved into it as well, and like these circles of that same yellow paint, and he's muttering to himself under his breath. Yeah, I think he's maybe about to finish casting the spell, I think. I'll let our mute Dungeon Master decide.
So he's very close. So close, in fact, that as the spell successfully completes, you'll be aware that whatever was protecting this place from the outside is not stopping you from casting divination magic within. And augury works. So with that, do you want to tell me now, like, a course of action you want to try and take in the next little while as the spell states, or do you want me to interpret what you were trying to find out and give you something based on that?
Well, now that he sees 2 ways to progress, a secret door and a passageway towards the west, he is going to ask, will we find what we are looking for in the southern passage? He closes his eyes and he says, Akton. And he drops the bone, and that smoke from that incense like wraps around the bone as it like just hovers there in midair for a moment, and then it starts to vibrate back and forth, up, down, left, right, as it almost looks like it's trying to be pulled in several different directions. And I'll let you decide what the answer is, whether it gets pulled towards wheel or whether it gets pulled towards woe. Like, should we take the route, this secret passage? Will it lead us to where we want to go to find these people?
So the bone clacks down onto the ground and sort of starts to clack around the circle in a clockwise direction, makes one complete turn, then turns around in an anti-clockwise direction before finally settling upon wheel.
Wheel. And wheel, for those people at home who don't know the augury spell, and for myself, that means that the southern direction is the right way to go. And Qualek's eyes sort of roll back.
You asked if you would find what you were looking for in that direction.
Yeah, well, to him, That's answered two things. First of all, we haven't entered whatever it is that's blocking the divination magic just yet. So if that spell has been cast here, our targets are more than 100 feet away from where we currently are. And second, that seems to be a good direction to go.
I'm gonna give you, based on your Arcana and history and that spell from your initial, what you were trying to investigate, that whatever it was definitely wasn't that spell.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems that perhaps there's a few, and you're not sure if they're hidden behind the walls, or something, but there must be some kind of warding sigils. It seems to be more that kind of thing. So there's just basic warding sigils in the building. Once you're inside them, they no longer function. Yeah.
Okay, so there's some type of built-in mechanism to stop people from being able to scry into this
from outside.
From the outside. So now that we're inside, we're operating with inside whatever sphere it is that's stopping it, or sphere or whatever. And he's like,
presumably, yes.
Yes, it would seem that this building was constructed with wards against divination magic. But we are inside it now. What have you found? Some sort of passageway. Wait, where's everyone else? I told them not to touch anything.
Hey, we got bored.
A lot's happened.
Qualek looks over towards you. Maurice, did you find anything in there at least? As he walks to over to where that sword is lying on the ground, he wants to sort of absent-mindedly pick that up and have a look at that as well.
Yep. You can, if you want to give me an Arcana, I can tell you a couple of things. If you want to actually identify it, dump a spell slot.
23 on the Arcana.
Definitely some kind of magic contained within this weapon. I'll give you that it's potentially containing some kind of necromancy magic. That's the best you're going to get.
Oh, this is a nice sword, he says. He picks it up by the blade and then grabs it by the handle. You can see he's obviously way too small to be wielding a sword of this size, and he's swinging it around, and then falls over backwards and drops the sword, and he's probably not best in my hands. Anyone here proficient with this sort of weapon?
The dragon guy before he left, he had a sword, didn't he?
What dragon guy?
Hey, where did he go?
I don't know. I thought he got killed. Well, I don't know.
I can't sense him.
Go on. He's an odd boy. He's an odd guy. But yeah, we found an eye. We got an eye out here. I don't know what it's about. Auntie Lizzie's gonna go and have a look at it, I think.
I think it would be best if we did not disturb anything in here that we do not know what it is. But again, what would I know? All I've done is spent my entire life studying magic. Why listen to me?
I'm inclined to agree. Let's follow the wizard. After you, Flower Child, please.
What? Wait. Well, I thought we following the monkey.
Please stop calling me a monkey. I'm not a monkey.
What are you?
I'm Hadozi.
Have you got a tail?
Actually, no, I do not have a tail. I do not have a tail. It doesn't matter whether or not I have a tail. It's got nothing to do with it. I'm Hadozi. I say it with me. Huh?
Monkey.
Actually, you know what? Maybe you should spend a little bit more time looking directly into that eye. You might find out some things about yourself.
I will allow a Bible in this circumstance, then.
No, all the monkeys I've ever seen have tails, so obviously you can't be a monkey because we got to have a tail.
I can't be a monkey because I'm not a monkey. I don't know what you're talking about, a monkey. I don't even look like a monkey, he's saying as he's walking off down the hallway.
Look, yes.
Wait, so you don't have a tail? I guess that makes you a member of the great ape family.
I'll cast
So
fireball
are
so
we-
quickly they won't even see it coming.
I mean, from my vantage point, you're all part of the Great Ape family, so
I suppose we are actually. Yeah, you're right.
Very good point.
And Qualek is actually going to step up and start walking down the hallway as he complains about everyone calling him a monkey.
Good idea. Let the ape check out the trap
Okay.
first.
Does it look like just an empty hallway that just ends?
It ends in another panel similar to the one that Doc Hovel discovered inside the coffin, with a latch much like it.
And Qualek sort of walks up to the panel and he starts like, he's got like these special little buttons in his robes that he can sort of like pull some of the fabric across and like button it in, pull and button it in, so it becomes a lot more like tight fitting and not as like flowy and stuff like that. And he sort of starts doing that, and he flips open a little satchel and like it unrolls like on his hip, and it's just like all of these little lock picking tools and shit like that just in like a little satchel. And he pulls out one of the tools and he's like, all right, let's have a look what we can see here. And he stops and he turns back towards Maurice, who's probably standing uncomfortably close behind him, I'd imagine.
Yes, very much so.
Do you have to stand so close to me while I do this?
Maurice.
Yes. Listen to me. There are things happening that you don't know. Just listen.
There is nothing happening that I don't know. You have no idea what I know. Let's have a look at this.
Maurice, check if he's got a tail.
That's enough.
Qualek is going to do an investigation or whatever it is that you want to see if this thing is indeed trapped or not.
Go nuts. Investigation will do the job.
All right, investigation with my nuts. There we go, 32.
Holy shit.
No traps.
Is that all?
You are 100% certain there are no traps.
All right.
That sounds sketchy though, Mark.
No, but he rolled a 32. All right, like
Holy fuck.
So like,
to give you an idea, DC 30 is like godlike.
Yeah.
he's got like
So
this little like little feeler gauges, and he like starts inserting them in behind the panel. Maybe he uses like a little bit of arcane light to have a look around, and he has another one of those, lights up another incense stick and actually blows some smoke into it to see if it like reacts to anything that might be, you know, in the area, anything that he can't necessarily see. Realizes that there's nothing going on, and he's like, okay.
what I'll also give you, based on like the way the that incense moves sort of like through the gaps that he's finding and what he's feeling with the tools, is that the mechanism seems to connect to some kind of like clockwork valve-y type thing. I'm going to set up in such a way that just flicking the latch will turn the valve, and you feel like that's just going to open the door.
All right. Looks like this is connected to some sort of clockwork mechanism. Must have been something built into this structure when they first created it. And he's going to open the latch, open the door, whatever it is.
Right.
I just got a deck of Planar Ruin card as well.
Oh!
Hey, what do we got?
All right, we are looking at the Feywild. Revelry's Bloom. All beasts and plants gain 10 temporary hit points. Whenever a creature targets an enemy with a first level spell or higher, the target must succeed on a wisdom save or be charmed by them until the end of its next turn. So is anyone here a beast or a plant?
Are you?
Fuck you.
And before you need to ask, Geoff, no, Trax is not a beast. Trax
Is
is
it?
a
Okay,
dragon.
there we are. Like,
Are you a beast, though?
No, I'm not
Are
a
you-
beast. I already told you, I'm not a monkey.
I'm honestly a little more worried about all the plants getting stronger since there's roots growing through this building.
Oh god damn it.
Right, you open the door, and it opens up into a small room. There are rusty standpipes and interlocking cogs covering the walls of it. It's more like an alcove than a room. The cogs here are all jammed together and don't really move. It's you think the one that you just moved is the only remaining functional kind of thing. There's a small passageway that leads to the west, and you can see some of the pipes running along that way. Others run into the walls and things like that. The passageway leads to a door.
Ooh.
Let me see. Is the door?
It would seem this mausoleum is a little bit more complex than I had originally thought. Clockwork mechanisms built into the wall, and it appears that we have opened up some sort of entrance into... What is this? Some sort of... don't know, maintenance room?
Let's have a look.
Careful. Don't touch any of these pipes. They could be hot.
Thank you.
Or do. I really don't give a shit at this point. He'll step into the room and do a perception check around, see if there is anything that he needs to either be worried about or piques his curiosity. Because now he's into this. He likes this. He likes what's happening here.
Yeah. What's everyone else doing? Are you moving up behind everyone, or?
Yeah.
Gonna regret this, but
I'm gonna shout back, Lizzie, come on, we go in.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Qualek,
I'm behind you.
Qualek, have you always been a natural leader?
Huh? I'm sorry.
Have you always been a natural leader?
I didn't realize you were still there. No, look, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but my bedside manner is only slightly better than the doctor's is. I don't usually like to work with other people, but I must say this has caught my attention. So, despite my better judgment, I guess I'm willing to work with you lots. And if nothing else, you're at least quite entertaining to be around.
Right back
Love
at
it, love it. All right. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and roll some perception, Qualek.
Yeah, alright, perception.
Yeah.
Let's roll that with some dice. Okay, 19, not too bad.
Yeah. So as I said, cogs, wheels, interlocking mechanisms and pipes and stuff. You can hear that water is flowing through these pipes.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like maybe the way that the cog wheels are laid out, that this may have been some kind of auxiliary control room. But like I said, everything's all seized up and it's no longer functional. There is a door to your right down that little corridor, and otherwise there's not much else going on in the room.
It appears
But
to be
some of the pipes do run. Sorry.
Auxiliary maintenance room. I think this pipe here, and he pulls out one of maybe his like dagger, and he like taps on one of the pipes. This will probably connect to the main reservoir. This one over here appears to be, yes, it must be pressure release, and yeah, he might follow it along towards whichever way it goes.
Well, it's leading through the door, well, past through the wall that the door is into the next section of the chamber.
Poorly maintained. So
yeah, another door. The door is heavy stone, metal hinges.
No readily apparent mechanism to open it with?
Nope.
Yeah. This one might be a
maybe just a push pull.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, why not? Let's give it a try. I'll give it a little shove. Maybe.
Yeah, cool.
See what happens.
It's I reckon in this section, give me a strength check, athletics.
All right. Not my greatest roll, but okay, 3. This is where I fall short. He's like putting his shoulder into it. It's not.
You got this.
Can I lend him some strength?
Sure.
Okay.
Are you proficient in athletics?
I rolled a 12.
And are you proficient?
No, I don't think so. Where would it say that?
On your skills list, there'd be a dot next to it that's filled in rather than empty.
No, actually, I'm not.
No?
That's not surprising, though,
So
is it?
a 12 is not going to be good enough if you're not proficient, I'm afraid. But the fumbling of like you trying to assist, I guess, plus him shoving it with a bit of a 3, the door actually does swing open. It was just a little bit jammed. It hadn't been opened in a while, but it swings open almost silently.
Ooh.
And it's obviously the hinges have been oiled in recent times.
Oh.
Obvious signs that someone has been there within at least the last couple of days, I would say. Maybe a week. Yeah, he'll inspect the hinges, see if there's any fresh oil on there.
Yeah. It's about a week old.
Yes. Someone has been here within at least a week.
So the next room, the pipes along the south, so the pipes continue into this room, they're also along the south wall, and they kind of disappear into the walls near the ceiling. And there's a complicated series of cogs and 4 hand-turned wheels connecting to the pipes. There is also another door further to the west.
Ah, okay. It is, I think, yes, this one must connect to the pressure release valve, and this one again must go to the auxiliary tank. No, wait. This one over here goes to the auxiliary tank. These valves must release some of the pressure. He looks at the door. Does the door look like it is similar to the last one? Openable or?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it looks very similar to the last one.
Alright. Best not to play around with this until we have a better understanding of the mechanism. Do you
Why
hear
would they
me?
have pipes in a mausoleum though? Why would they have pipes here though?
Appears to be some sort of hydraulic system.
Anyone who is from Faerun can make a history check
Alright.
based on that question from Flower Child 4.
I'm not not from Faerun, I just realized that.
You've been here long enough. You've been living in Neverwinter long enough, Qualak, that you could probably make a history check too. You do study.
Okay,
You know?
Nat 20.
23.
Oh,
shit.
boom!
Nat 20. And I think I'm from Faerun.
Dirty 20.
Probably.
I've toured Faerun enough, I think.
Yeah, like even if your home plane might be one of the outer planes, like I don't know where Annelies was actually born. Faerun's pretty much home, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so 24, 23, and 20, that's enough for all of you. You recall that, in fact, the note, here it is, that part of these catacombs, or that there was once a guild that had a section of catacombs underneath the Neverdeath graveyard. They were known as the Water Clock Guild. And so they used to operate, water-based clock type things and work on things like that. You don't know much about them. They're fairly old. You do know that they are, they had the clockwork mechanisms, and they often bound elementals to do their work for them, or to help out with the flow of water through the pipes and things like that. So, and you do know that their binding magics in that regard were very, very good. So it's possible that there might be some remnants of those creatures still down here.
Cool.
Yes. Best not to touch anything until we have a better idea of the mechanism. If I'm not mistaken, I think there was... What was it? The water... something guild? Anyone? Water...
Did they do something to do with clockwork?
Yes, something like this. It was... I remember reading about this. Why would they have a mechanism so far down here? They were well known, well regarded for their clockwork mechanisms run on... what was it? hydraulic steam, water, that sort of thing, but also employing the help of some arcane magic, binding water elementals. These things are dangerous. I would advise not touching anything. This time, actually not touching anything. He turns back towards Flower Child, like pointing his little dagger in his face. Or up to his face.
As I'm there, reaching out to a fucking cog. Oh.
He slaps him in the
I'm going to pull it out. I actually, Maurice, in my pack, I have some manacles. And I'm going to pull them out. And I'm going to look at Flower Child and be like, listen.
Is there a reason why you're walking around with a pair of manacles in your backpack?
Yes, there is.
You're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to get you to explain that one to me sometime.
Anyone else getting creepy old guy vibes?
Yeah.
You should be.
From my 2 cents, I think the manacles are probably a good idea.
Huh?
Yes.
Well, I knew the old bag would be into it.
My sister.
I'll deal with that later. But does the just over the table? Did Flower Child 4 mention the word 3 when they were raging?
Yes.
Definitely said it.
Yeah. 4. Does the word name 3 mean anything to you?
3? It's the number before 2? After 2, sorry, and after before 4.
Wait a minute. Sorry, just 1 second, just because I have to. Sevs, Flower Child 4, can you make an intelligence check, please?
Oh, fuck hell. Oh, I can count.
yeah, you're good.
I can count to 10 because I have 10 fingers. Because I'm like a 3, 2, 4.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you really scared me before.
Huh?
I thought you were going to really hurt me. You don't remember that at all?
What are you talking about? I never hurt you, Lizzie. Look, if you were the commune, I would have given you a knife and sent you out into the pastures, but I wouldn't hurt you. You're too old.
Do you not remember anything?
Oof.
What? Look, I think look, we stuck in a hole. I don't particularly want to be here. Let's I think we should start like headed because everybody's looking at me, and it's kind of.
I think I'd feel safer if you wore those manacles.
Look, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna wear a set of manacles because it's. I've done nothing wrong.
What did I miss?
Only thieves and murderers and stuff wear manacles.
Look,
we had a
kid's
situation.
clumsy, but he's not going to hurt us.
I think you might have missed it. We had a situation where Flower went somewhere else for a bit and came back and was quite aggressive and then came back to themselves. We don't know what the impact has been, and I think we are rightly concerned. Has this ever happened to you before?
Ooh.
Is this...
Qualak, has that ever happened to you before?
Has that ever happened to you, Qualak? Is this something that we deal with normally?
Look, we are 4, 5, were 6 complete strangers. Up to, what, a couple of hours ago?
Yes.
Now, it seems that the situation as it is requires us to work together, and we're going to learn things about each other that maybe we might not want to talk about. All of us have a history. He's still got his little dagger in his hand. He's like pointing it around as he's talking. She's not old. I'm not a monkey. And he's not a lunatic. Some things are better left unspoken. I see this boy. Doesn't seem to have... doesn't hurt a fly, so to speak. But I mean, it could not have been simple accident what happened to those creatures in the past, and there's a reason why Never Ember called him here in the first place. We all have our own little secrets, is what I'm trying to say. But unless we can start to at least trust each other to an extent that we're all going to work towards a common goal, I mean, I would rather not him be in shackles next time we come across something like we did when we first entered this place, yeah?
You make a good point. We need to rely on each other.
What he said. As you see me moving slowly closer and closer to the door.
Don't touch anything!
That's fair.
I don't like working with other people. Alright? I don't like considering other people to have as much say in things as I do, but I can see that all of you are as capable as I am. I am not too big of a man to say that. So, until we have completed this task and done what Never Ember has asked for us, I say that we act as though we are all equals. Even though we're not. Yes?
Can we make a plan for if that happens again, though?
Well, if we're not equals,
No, if you lose control, if you feel yourself fading, can you give us warning?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, once this is all done, I'll give the boy a closer look. Find out what it is that's going on. You said you saw an eye in that room, yes? It could be that this is some sort of arcane trick. Maybe something took over his mind for a moment. I did say not to touch anything, yeah? I said this.
I didn't touch it. I didn't move.
You sure have
I
stayed.
did. I played wet fish.
You touched it with your eyeballs.
Well, I can't. Look, I haven't got hands. My eyes. I can't stop me seeing, touching stuff with my eyeballs if that's a thing.
Do you have a blindfold in your pack?
I have a blindfold.
Not you. You, crazy old man. What's your name?
Maurice.
Yes.
I do have a net.
Okay. So
I have a net and a portable ram.
I'm sorry, you have a portable ram?
Wait, you
Yes.
what?
I have a portable ram.
Right, we're definitely going to need to talk about the history of those items. But for the time being, I think we move on. We put this behind us, and we try and find out what's happening here. Yes?
Alright.
Yes.
Right. We go through this door?
Wait. Let me have a look first. And I will perceive the door, check for traps. And also see if I can get a better understanding of the mechanism that we're currently in. What it might have been used for.
Alright, what I'll tell you is that you probably would have a reasonable chance at figuring that out by yourself, given some time.
Okay.
Maybe if you pass a check in like 10 minutes or so. So if you want to spend the time doing that, you can.
Yeah.
And we can just say if everyone's willing to wait while you do, or help, then we can just skip that time.
Well, I don't think he'd want to stop at this point, so he might just keep going and trying.
Yeah.
Like he's got an intelligence of 20, so he remembers like everything. So he's just going to be making like a mental map of all these pipes and shit.
Cool. Give me an investigation with disadvantage. Just for a quick look as you're going through.
Okay, disadvantage. 22.
Okay, yeah, that's huge. 2 seconds. I believe it's this one. Yeah. All right. So. All right. You can definitely determine that the water's flowing west through the pipes, and that these gauges definitely have something to do with the pressure system. You can't figure out exactly how they work or how it will affect the water this quickly, but you do know that it is some kind of pressure system with the valves and the pipes.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll give you that much.
Alright, and then check the door for traps, so on and so forth.
Yep. I'll use the same investigation. The door's not trapped.
All right. Flower Child 4, feel free to. It's not trapped. You can open the door.
As you can see that he's in confined space with everybody looking at him. You can see that he's physically shaking and physically breathing heavy as he's kind of a little bit freaking out because everybody's just like staring at him. And I'm gonna go through the door.
It's okay.
Alright, no problem. We will open the door up. We will get rid of the fog. And then I shall give you a description. Oh, yeah, that's it. So that. We'll be able to see down there a bit and there a bit. Cool. Oh, yep, and that bit. There we go. Kill. Oops. Crap. Sorry, close the notes window. My bad.
I didn't see it.
I'll go back. Alright, so the rusted pipes continue along here. They run along the walls and ceiling, and water flows from nozzles in the ceiling pipes. In the center of the room is a deep stone basin that's set into the floor and filled to the brim. The surface ripples, revealing several watery creatures inside.
Oh.
The south, a closed door is padlocked.
It's a pool. It's a pool.
Qualek will cross the room, step through the hatch, and try and look past Flower Child. I can't see anything. You're too big.
Alright, the moment you step into the room...
Oh, fuck.
I will get everyone to roll for initiative at this point, but again, this is an encounter, not necessarily a combat. It's up to what happens next.
Can we have a 2-minute break, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Stick with us. We'll go on a quick break, and we'll be back, and we'll find out who's going to get murdered by a water elemental.
And we're back, folks. We're going to jump straight back into it. These guys have stepped into this next room. There appears to be a pool of water in a basin, and these 3 elemental-looking creatures have risen up from it. Now, I will say, they don't immediately lunge at you or anything. They're just sort of like floating there in the water, looking imposing.
Okay.
However,
Yeah.
one of them is up first.
Oh dear.
Which one is it? All right, now I just need to read a couple of things here to check on their behavior. Okay. Cool. And okay, cool. Very, very cool. All right, so this one that's at the back corner sort of surges to the front of the pool here and looms threateningly over Flower Child 4, but doesn't actually attack. Flower Child 4, it's your turn.
Oh, look, it's water. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, hi. What's going on? Are you, are you, the water clock people? No? No answer? Okay.
You hear some kind of coming from the one in the middle at the back in response to what you're saying, but you don't understand it.
Yeah, I can't understand you guys. I was like, alright. Are you, do you put the water through the pipes? Is that your job? That's me. I don't attack. I'm not, he doesn't attack. He just talks up, kind of like, does that one where you kind of like put your finger out to see if you can kind of touch it, see if you can feel like a
You reach
body
towards it?
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. In response to that, it's like, it's this one that's close to you, it's kind of like a serpentine kind of shape, and it just kind of like surges across you. And then, like, before reefing back into the water, it is going to deal 29 cold damage.
Ooh, nice.
And you are now grappled. Like some of the water stays around you, and sort of like locks you in place next to it. You are grappled and restrained until that grapple ends.
Cool.
And that will be it. Doc Hobble, you're up.
Okay, I'm just gonna call out. Look, I know you haven't smelled, but is this the?
Sorry, 1 sec. Plato, you didn't actually take any action, so if you would like to try and break free, you can.
As soon as he gets damaged, he's gonna go into a rage anyway. So
Okay. Well, you haven't used your bonus either, so you can also do that.
all right,
So cut off the end of your turn.
it's all good. If he does damage to me, I'm gonna try and break out. So he goes into a rage and then he tries to break out. What do I have to do? Athletics or just a strength check?
I believe so. Let me just double check. Yep, athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Right? Is this something I have to do?
You have advantage on athletics while raging.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find the button that I have to press to rage. Where is it? It's somewhere, isn't it? In action? Bonus action. There it is. I'll just roll it twice. The first one on the athletics is a 18, and the second one is a 20.
Yeah, cool. So you bust out. You pull yourself free of the water, and you can see it just sort of flows back into sort of the shape of where the creature is.
That wasn't nice.
So bonus action to rage, action to break free. That will end your turn, and we'll move on to Doc Hobble. And yeah, it wasn't very nice, was it?
And going back to my not very nice thing I was going to say, which is, of course, look, I know you've got a smell, but this isn't the time for a bath. And let's see now. We no longer have that fire card up, so Firebolt is no longer the fun thing to do.
Sorry, it should still be up there.
Feywild.
Yeah, we're Feywild instead of the fire card. So I'm going to just go with what I would normally have done, which is, of course, to fire a couple of Eldritch Blasts at it.
Yeah, boom, boom.
So,
now, Eldritch Blast is a cantrip, so it's not a first level spell, so you're not going to trigger the Feywildy thing. Cool. You're currently standing in a wall.
Oh, I'm standing in a wall? Sorry.
Yeah, where Qualek is a passageway.
Yeah, I'm standing
gotcha.
right in the doorway, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Good.
provided he lets you...
Yep. I'm 2 foot taller than your average person, and he's... You'd be pretty short, wouldn't you, Qualek? Because you hunch.
Yeah, no, he's actually mechanically small. He is about 3 foot tall, thereabouts.
Okay.
Yeah, you have no problem shooting straight over the top of him, yeah.
And I'll call out, watch your head as I do my first shot. And as you can see, I did roll, and I got a 21 to hit, which is usually promising.
Okay, definitely a hit.
Okay. Then we can roll this much damage. Ew. Yuck. That was...
Yeah. Ew. Well, you do... Oops. Just check here. Yeah, you do a grand total of 1 force damage.
Okay, well, let's try my second shot, which is a nat 20, which is something
Wow.
good.
That's a crit. So you maximize the dice, so it's 10 damage already, then roll a d10 for the rest.
Gotcha.
You're on
So 10
crits.
plus this roll, 14 altogether.
Nice, that's a bit better. So, you blast into the water weird, and your 2 blasts sort of like punch through it. One of them sort of just skims the side. You can see the first one sort of like punches through the middle of it, and you can see a hole created where it was, and the water slowly sort of congeals to cover it back up. You've definitely done some damage to it, and with that, you can see the other 2 shift themselves sort of towards your direction, recognizing now the threat that they're actually facing. Anything else?
Yes, I just realized that if the big 8 foot tall bugger is in the doorway, the old man and the old woman probably won't be able to get through, so I'm just going to step to the side.
No problem. You can absolutely do that. All right, Maurice, what's in?
All right, Maurice was going to try and do some mind fuckery, but these aren't humanoids, are they?
No, they are not.
God damn it. All right. In that case, I had it worked out. Let's go here. I think I'm going to use Wither and Bloom because that way, Flower Child can get some hit points back as well.
Cool.
So basically, I invoke both death and life in a 10-foot radius, centered on a point within range.
Yep, I'm familiar with
Yep.
the spell. What does it look like?
Yep. Basically, it's like a tendril of black, like pure black, comes out of my hand, and it snakes towards them. And my face is sort of lit up in a really creepy way.
Of course, it's creepy. All right, sweet. Well, that means we need an AOE. What is it, 10-foot or 20-foot radius?
10 foot.
Yeah, 10-foot radius. It would be necrotic damage, circle, boom, there we go.
Yeah.
Not that I want to be that guy, but yeah, I don't really think you can actually see where Flower Child currently is.
Yeah, you will have to move up to like behind Twilight to be able to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I'll try and... It's very hard to use this setup that I've got, but yes, I will move. I'll be like,
Okay, maybe that's fine.
There we go.
Oh, yep, sweet, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
All right, and I'll probably do a 3rd level.
Okay.
Yep.
So what's the DC on that?
Give me a second. It is... it's Constitution 18.
On 18. If you want to go ahead and roll damage, I just need to check the stat blocks and see if there's any other things that will come into play.
So I'm just rolling 3d6, yeah?
You upcast it, so you may be more than that.
Okay. It says here at high levels when he casts his spell. I'm doing just 3rd level.
Yeah, isn't it like a 1st level spell or a 2nd level spell?
Yes, it is.
Alright, so what's the damage normally?
Looking here, it is usually 3d6.
So if you're upcasting by 1 level, it should be 4d6.
Okay, so I'm gonna... Oh, that's terrible. I'm gonna roll another d6.
That's only 3, yep, go ahead and add another one. Do you have any stuff that lets you re-roll damage dice or anything? Some spellcasters have that kind of stuff.
I do have luck points.
They don't. They
Does that
apply
do
to
anything?
D20 rolls. No, they apply to D20 rolls.
Okay. Yeah, this is me trying to learn how to use a spellcaster. Let me have a look. Empower. When you roll spell damage for a spell, you can spend 1 sorcery point to re-roll damage dice.
There you go.
Do that.
That's the one. So if you want to empower it, yep.
Yep. Okay. So basically, roll it again.
You don't have to roll the whole lot. You can choose the dice. Oh,
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll do that. And then I'll just roll a d6.
Yep.
Hopefully, it's a better result. 16. That's better damage.
16 is definitely better. All right, cool. I like that.
And then one creature of my choice in that area can spend and roll one of its unspent hit dice to regain a number of hit points equal to the roll plus your spellcasting ability modifier. So if
Very nice.
so if Flower Child wants to do that, they can.
So say that again. I'm not sure.
You roll a hit dice. You can expend a hit dice that you would use from a short rest, and so you would roll a d12. But I don't think does it say you get they get their con mod, or is it just your spellcasting mod?
It's just my spellcasting ability modifier. Yeah.
Which is what, +5? That's 4 +5.
Let me have a look. Where is that?
It'll be at the top of your spell list. Actually, no, just spell charisma. What's your charisma modifier?
My charisma modifier is +5.
Yeah, cool. So it'll be whatever you roll +5. Well, job for.
Okay. Do that. 10, 15.
There you go. You get 15 HP back, and all of the elementals failed their saves and took full damage from the spell. You can see the withering. I guess No, necrotic damage is like withering. So withering on water, you'd start to see it. The parts that go like brackish and stagnant and stuff, and just sort of start to drop off and slough onto the floor.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so that's your action. Do you have a bonus action?
Oh god, I do. Yeah, hang on. Sorry, I'm just doing my sorcery points. So actions, bonus actions. I can misty step, but I really don't want to do that.
Cast a spell this turn anyway, so you wouldn't be able to.
Okay. All right.
You can cast
I can do.
cantrip.
I can do celestial revelation.
Okay,
That could be fun.
if you want to, make it cheaper.
But I might save that. I might save that actually. Yeah.
Alright, cool.
That's it.
Awesome. All right. Well, next up then we have Qualak.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. I was just reading about a class action. Okay. Okay. Qualek is looking into this room, and he's thinking to himself, but he's not going to say. He's like, "I told you not to touch anything." He first thing he can't see the entire room, so he is actually going to step into the room, holding his hands up. Like, I'm not a threat. I'm not a threat. And first thing he wants to do is he has that keen mind feat, which allows him to use a bonus action to do a knowledge check. What he would actually like to do here is, man, I've got a couple of options, but I think the first thing I want to do is understand how these pipes factor into what is happening here.
Yep.
Now, I already did that knowledge check in the previous room, so I don't know if that will affect
It will affect the DC. It will lower the DC because you did pretty well. Make an investigation.
All right, investigation. Let's find out. So 23 on the investigation.
Yep. All right. So you can see the pipes flowing through to the other room. You can see the way that, you can figure out the water's flowing through things. It's spitting out into here. There's a whole system of things going on here. You can surmise from what you saw in the previous room that they weren't all of the controls, and that there's perhaps another pressure room somewhere, and that you could either drain or flood these chambers by using those wheels in the right manner. You're not quite sure what that manner is yet.
All right.
But,
okay. So he doesn't think that the room we were just in is going to drain this pool. Yeah. Is that what I'm
not
getting?
necessarily by itself.
Okay. Could it potentially get the process started, or will he need more information to know that?
Let me just check something.
Okay. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Don't want to just come in here blasting, but thought this was interesting. This is right up Quilek's alley, is sorting these kind of things out. And having an understanding about how these mechanics sort of work. He's not a big guy, and he doesn't really sort many of his problems out directly with violence. So if he can find a way to get an upper hand in this, he wants to, really get an understanding of how it works.
Alright, at best you might be able to tell me, so like all of the floor in here is a little bit wet. Like not to the point where it's going to cause difficult terrain.
Yep.
But like the nozzles above are dripping water.
Yeah.
You can figure out that the nozzles in the room you just came from could be used to stop that water from dripping from above. But the maximization of pressure in order to flood the room is definitely going to require both pressure rooms being used.
All right. So that is his bonus action to do that. Then as an action, he is going to... Well, no, actually, he's just going to move back into the room that we just came out of. Now, that does mean I think he's leaving a threatened square here. If the creature wants to take an attack of opportunity.
He is, but that creature has already used its reaction to trigger its held action.
All right. Okay, good.
However, I need to check ranges on other things.
All right, then.
Out of range of that one. Just checking this. Yeah, you're fine. Nothing's within range or has a reaction to be able to do so. You're all good.
All right, Qualek would like to attempt to cut off the water supply to this room and begin the process of draining the pool, if he can do so.
No problem. You can definitely, with your action, affect the wheels in such a way that the water stops flowing into the room.
Yep.
You don't know if it's going to fully drain, but no more is being added, and you can see that the water around the edges of the room begins to sink back into the pool.
Yep.
And you think that by your next turn, that water will have completely receded.
Okay. Now, just a little bit of a sort of mapping question here. Those pipes that disappear into the wall, is there a gap big enough for Qualek to squeeze through? And they're up in the ceiling, right?
Yeah, no, they're set properly into it.
Into the wall. So he can't. You can't do that. Okay, well,
no, the gap is just big enough for the pipes.
He's moved 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 back into the doorway, and that'll be the end of his turn.
No problemo. All right. Well, next up we have another one of the water weirds. Now this one so far. The only one that's done anything kind of threatening is Flower Child 4 that it can reach. Oh, wait, there's still water out there. How far can it move? Alright, so it's going to kind of swim sort of under through its buddy and sort of like surge up into this corner. And then Qualek is actually going to reach straight over you. You see the surge of water coming out of its mouth. That is heading straight over you and towards Maurice.
Yeah, there we go.
This surge will also go straight over Maurice's head and splash harmlessly on the ground behind him. I believe that's all it gets to do. Yep. That will be it. I think it will take some of its movement. Actually, no, get coming out there because it can't swim on the ground out there. Yeah, but it's still got water. So, that's where it's at. End of its turn. Annie Lizzie, you're next.
Annie Lizzie saw Quillick manipulating the wheels.
Yep.
And so she's going to quickly ask, are there any other wheels that we need to change?
I think there is another sort of maintenance room like this one, probably on the other side. If we follow these pipes, we might be able to drain this pool and bypass this, whatever this is, entirely.
All right. Anya Lizzie is going to take that as her cue to do something quite reckless. She's going to cast...
Reckless attack?
No.
Secret barbarian?
Actually, let's make it less reckless. She's going to cast invisibility on herself.
Nice.
And she's going to sort of 25 feet in here. So she makes her way there. She sees all these elementals. She sees that there's a doorway on the northern side. She makes her way further in, so that's 25 feet. And is there another doorway? I'm too zoomed in. There's another doorway on the other side. So, Qualek, you said the other side, so I'm going to go past Flower Child
there.
for... Yeah,
it might look like this is blocked, but that's just a pipe passing across over the top of the door.
So that's going to use up pretty much all my movements as I use my actions on the invisibility.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action. Before I even start walking, I'll use my bonus action to Bardic Inspire Qualek.
Nice one. Go ahead and add that. What I will say is, as you're moving past the water weirds, well, they can't see you, but you can because you didn't hide, you just went invisible, right? So they can't see you, but they can hear the footsteps and the movement, so they're like kind of looking around trying to find whatever it is that's moving past them, but they don't seem to be able to.
So, would it be attack of opportunity but with disadvantage? Is that the idea?
If you had left their reach, yes, but you didn't.
Okay, cool.
Alright,
Yeah,
no
so
problem.
that's my turn.
Yep. All right. Next up is the water elemental. Now let me have a couple of looks at this. Okay. So this one again is like, and you can see it like reaches out kind of like a watery appendage and points back in the direction you guys came. But also doesn't seem to really wait, I guess, to see what happens.
It's the one in the
let me
middle,
just
yeah?
check the movement.
The different.
Yeah, the one, in the middle of the pool, the different looking thing. This one's actually a water elemental. The other two are water weirds. Movement. Oh, look at that. Lovely. So it's going to go like to there. It's going to come surging through all of you, and it's going to end up sitting about here.
Oh shit!
Right on top of all of the people that have actually heard it. Wait a minute. A little bit past Qualek, because Qualek hasn't actually heard anything.
I wouldn't hurt a
Right,
fly.
you didn't cast any damaging spells on these guys, but these two certainly did.
That's the fly.
And Flower Child didn't actually hurt it either. Flower Child just reached out, right? Like, so it surged right through here. It's going to then do something really, really fun. It's called Whelm. I'm going to need a... It doesn't say?
You can just make it up.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna say because it's because of what it is, you can use either strength or dexterity saves. And I need them from both of you, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have a look at what this is.
You're not in it, Qualek, it moved past you.
Oh, yeah, I rolled a 1.
Yep, so you fail, Doc Hole, you pass. Just reading up. Cool. All right. So, Doc Hobble, nothing really happens to you. The water's surging around you. And you can feel it trying to like grab hold of you and smash into you, and like doesn't bother you so much. Maurice, on the other hand, you're going to take 22 bludgeoning damage. You are grappled, restrained, and suffocating.
Can I do anything
Again.
with shield, silvery barbs, or counterspell?
Shield, no. Silvery barbs, no. Counterspell, no. Sorry, it's not a spell.
Damn it.
It's not a like a attack roll that it's making. It's you guys have failed saves, and yeah, so shield and silvery barbs won't work there. Yep. You could use it to make Doc Hobble also fail. If you wanted to not be alone.
Fuck you, you go with me.
No, I'm okay. The only thing hang on, I do have something I can do, I think. Let me have a look. I might have luck points.
Yeah, you could re-roll your save with a luck point, absolutely.
Hey, Mark,
Yeah,
just
I
sent you
might
a
do that.
message for Discord.
Yep, okay. Checking.
Yeah. So is it okay if I do that one
Yep, absolutely.
roll? Yep. Okay, so dexterity
Okay,
again.
thanks,
Let's see how bad. Oh yeah, no, that's no better. That's 5 again. Okay, yeah, no, I'm meant to be there. That's yeah.
Yeah. All right. In future, by the way, those will be strength saves. Thanks for that note, Sven. But yeah, no, you definitely fail. You are grappled, restrained, which restrained means your speed is 0. Attack rolls against you have advantage. Your attack rolls have disadvantage. You have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. So, from now on, cool. And you can't breathe.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Reese might go down. That's okay.
We'll
pretty
see. Cool as that's the end of the. Oh, wait a minute. How far has it moved to get there? It's got a little bit of movement. All right. So now that it's got you, Maurice,
Yeah.
it's going to continue moving in this direction. and take you with it.
A quick question: can I teleport out of this thing when it's my go?
Yes.
Okay.
You're not blinded or anything. You can see. Oh wait.
Restrained.
Does that spell have a verbal component? No, restrained is okay.
Okay.
Teleport. No, it doesn't say so. No, it's just
So-
instantaneous. Oh, it does say.
No,
It says V. Yeah, thunder
Very
step.
verbal. Then
Oh, but maybe I can use one of my sorcery points and do a quiet spell.
if you do that to remove the verbal component, you can absolutely do it. Otherwise, there will be a check involved. But yeah, you can try it once your turn comes up. That's fine.
Yeah, I can do subtle spell. Yeah, so I could do that.
All right. Cool. No problem. Well, that is the end of the water elemental's turn, which is going to bring us to the top of the round, and it's also 4 minutes to 11. So, Sven, how you feeling? Do you want to wrap it here so you can get some sleep for work, or do you want to keep going for another round?
How's everyone else feeling? I'm okay to crack on for a little bit longer. Another round? Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep going.
All right.
Let's do this.
One more round it is. Back to the top, and we've got another one of the water weirds. This one here, I think, let's see. Oh, can they move like that? No, they cannot. Right, the only thing this one can really, I mean, like, I'm sorry, Sevs, but you tried to poke it. Actually, you haven't done anything else threatening since then, have you?
Oh,
Is that
really?
Kettle
No.
angry?
I didn't do
Yeah,
that. I didn't do any threatening with the first one, where they attacked me for
Yeah.
no reason.
Yeah, no reason at all. I think it's going to do a search and see if it can pick up whatever we're trying to sneak past it.
Just quickly, Fizz Cannon just redeemed a new card from the deck of Planar Ruin. He got the exact same card again, so I redrew it. And we drew the Shadowfell, Pale Reflection. Creatures cannot gain advantage from inspiration. All wisdom saves are made with disadvantage. When a creature fails a charisma check, it hears whispers of its worst fear. Must save on a wisdom save or be frightened until the end of its next turn.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, very cool. Thanks, Fizz. Much appreciated. Fizz was one of our players in the previous campaigns we were running. So good to see him jumping in.
Your mic's gone a bit crackly too, Mark. Just seen it.
Is it like roadblock crackly?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Alright, I'll fix it one sec.
Yep. All right. Yeah. No. While that's happening, like what I'm actually planning here is Qualek was going to climb along the pipes to get to the other side because I don't know how high the ceiling is, but it might give him a way to bypass because he has a climb speed. So he was going to like Hadozi climb along the pipes.
Just like a monkey, though, yeah.
No, nothing like a monkey. More like just like a humanoid, like a small humanoid who's really good at climbing.
as you go down the pipe like this.
It doesn't really like it's a really a unique way of climbing. It doesn't really bring to mind any other sort of creatures that climb this particular way. So,
just as a question, because I do not know Hadozis.
yeah.
Humanoid feet or like monkey feet?
Monkey feet, actually. They have a trait that allows them to manipulate things somewhat like a monkey. But like sort of like that, but not really.
So when we go to the inn and you pull a banana out and you start peeling with your feet, you're like, see? I told you.
Qualek's going to do a whole bunch of real simian-like things, but only when you're looking at him. Just to make you seem like a little racist.
By the way, I don't know if you've noticed the stream. Yeah.
The cameras
Sevs
have
is
changed
currently
around.
Mark. And,
Yeah, that's because Mark has turned his
Ah.
camera off.
I believe Mark got disconnected. So
Yeah.
Right, guys, this is what we're doing. All the elementals die. Thousands and thousands of gold each. Any weapons you want. Let's do
Wait.
this.
We win.
Yeah, we win. Just win.
We win?
Ta-da!
Ah, that's not what I wanted.
No.
I wanted only me to win and everyone else to lose.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think the fun thing about the reason why, and it's the same thing with Quilek's brother as well, Guida. He was like very defensive about being called a monkey, and I think initially one of the big reasons why Hadozi was so controversial when they brought out the source book, the Adventures in the Astral Sea or whatever it was the Spelljammer source book when they introduced the Hadozi, was I think originally their backstory was they were given intelligence by a wizard or something like that, which was part of the reason why it was like controversial. It was like, you know, someone else found their civilization and these dumb monkeys and they made them intelligent. You know what I mean? You can see like why that might cause some controversy. So the way I twisted that for Far Beyond the Void, and now obviously for this as well, is that people there was a wizard who came across the planet or whatever where the Hadozi sort of made their home, and he took a couple of them with him when he returned to wherever it was that he was from, and he presented them and was like, look, I found these monkeys and I taught them how to be intelligent, sort of to get his own accolades, but the truth is that they already had their own civilization, so now that's just sort of stuck in the public consciousness, that they were, you know, granted intelligence by someone else, so that, you know, they become quite defensive when people call them monkeys, because the truth is they had their own, you know, equally advanced civilization from which they were sort of taken.
I assume that original story is supposed to be a call to, like a reference to Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I'm
That's
assuming
idea.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
it makes sense to turn that wizard into a charlatan, as Fizzcannon says in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he was just, you know, oh look, I've discovered this thing. Look how great I am. And in the truth was like he didn't do anything at all. They already had their, you know, civilization. They were happy, and now everyone sort of looks at Hadozi as being like, you know, oh look, he's this species who was given intelligence, you know. And the fact that Quilek has an intelligence of 20, if anyone sort of calls that into question, like that to him is like the the greatest insult you could levy upon him is being.
So it would be quite inappropriate for me to start calling you Monkey Magic.
Yeah. I mean, the magic part he enjoys. The monkey part, not so much. And you know, He's remembering every time that someone calls him a monkey. Don't worry about that.
like a rocket raccoon situation.
Yeah, pretty. That's kind of. I didn't think about that when I made the character, but after I did, I think I spoke to Gemma as well. I was like, you know what? There's actually a lot of parallels to Rocket with Quilek.
Yeah.
You know, so much so that you might think that I entirely ripped off his character, but I did, but not Rocket.
Yeah, Rocket's a cool character though.
Yeah, I do like that character.
He's great.
Is
Is
Mark
Mark
back?
trying to signal for help?
You know what? I should check what's going on. He may have. He said he had to reboot Discord, be on in 30 seconds. I feel like that was longer than 30 seconds. Is that just me?
Yeah.
I thought I
30
saw like an
hours
emoji
later.
come up. And I was like, oh, hang on.
30 hours later. But what you do see though, Aunt Lizzie, you see 3 like this older version of Flower
Check
Child
one, check
4.
two. Hey,
Hey!
hey,
Hey!
there we
Here
go.
it is.
All right, sorry about that. My whole, all of the sound drivers on my entire computer just shut themselves all at once. It was wonderful.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So just let's get that back on. All right. Cool.
We were just getting an insight into Flower Child.
Oh, awesome.
That's fine. You can keep going.
Yeah, we're getting inside
Okay.
Flower Child.
Oh,
It's about to get water weird up in here, am I right?
Yep.
Yeah, it kind of is. Just reloading the BTT.
Geoff enjoyed that one.
So, but all right, then. So as he's reloading VTT, so what you can see as you come past Lizzie is Flower Child is 3 is back there, the older version, where he's generally roughly about 18 years old. This guy's looking the other side of 30. He's squat and the pole is out and it's kind of just dragging along on the floor, and he's just kind of dropped out into this little weird stance.
Interesting.
in the creature.
Pardon?
While he's in the creature?
No, Flower Child broke out of the creature, but he's
okay, all right.
but he's just kind of sunk down really low, as if
Okay.
he's become more bestial and a lot older than what he is.
Okay.
Sorry, the music changed.
Alrighty then.
Fuck's it.
It did. Because guess what? Flower Child 4.
Yep.
Waterweed just hit you with another surge.
You.
You're going to take, what do we get? 8 cold damage, and you are again grappled and restrained.
Right. Cool.
Yep.
I'm going to do a retaliation attack on that.
Is that a reaction?
Yeah.
Going
Yes.
nuts. What do you got?
Retaliation.
Cool.
So retaliation. So I'll read out retaliation so people don't know what it is. When you take damage from a creature that is within 5 foot of you, you can take a reaction to make 1 melee attack against that creature using a weapon or an armed strike. So I'm gonna hit it with the adamantium bar.
Cool.
I'm also going to use reckless attack, but forego the.
I believe you can only go reckless on your turn.
Alright, cool.
Yep.
Cool. That's.
I'm not sure. It might have changed. That's just what it used to be. You are
23,
also at disadvantage because you're restrained by the attack. So I'm gonna need a second attack roll.
Yeah, man.
You probably still hit it.
16 to hit,
Yeah, that hits.
and I'm going to hit it with that,
Love that using a pilot
Alas.
to do this, by the way.
Yeah, right.
and that's 12
yeah.
points of damage.
Done. Wallop. And with that, you can see the creature sort of screeches a bit. It doesn't let you go, but it's like it almost does. As you can see, it's starting to lose a bit of its form. It's not quite as voluminous. So there's not got as much volume anymore. Yeah. So nicely done. Wallop. Cool. So it's got you. You've done that. It's now going to use its movement to swim back this way, taking you with it into
Can
the
I-
water.
Can I say something?
No,
Please,
you can
before
talk
you-
much. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So, what he has with his great club. If you hit a creature with a great club, you can push that creature 10 foot straight away from you.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna hit it as hard as I can and try and break out of his grasp by pushing it 10 foot away.
All right. So pretty crucial moment here. This is a little bit because ordinarily, if you did that, you just go with him, right? But if you want to give me your hero point,
Fuck yeah, cause of
yeah,
Have it.
fuck yeah, love it. All right. So you drop the hero point, you do that, and you go boom, and you bust through the restraint that it has on you. And so as it's moving away, boom, boom, it goes back 10 feet. Did you say 10 feet?
Yep.
Yeah, so it gets pushed 10 feet back to here. And then at the end of it, like to finish up its turn, it's going and then descend back into the water. And once it does, it becomes completely invisible. You can't see it moving under the water, but it's under there somewhere.
That's concerning.
Yeah, just a bit.
It's just the fact that you can't see it. It means we have no idea how many more could be in that water as well.
Oh, that's a good point. Hang on a second while I just add a few more of these guys to the encounter. No, I'm joking. All right, so with that, it's now actually your turn, Flower Child, and you still have another one of these things next to you.
I am going to walk forward, and I'm going to hit it. Like I said, I'm going to hit it recklessly with an advantage. I'm going to forego the reckless, so it's just a normal attack, and I'm going to hit with a brutal attack. That'll give me a plus 10 damage on top of that.
All right. Very
so
nice.
that is a 23. That is a
definitely hits.
First attack, and I get 13 plus 6.
19.
So that's 19 damage.
Boom. And again, you like smash a chunk of like, it's almost like, when you hit water with something and it displaces the water, right? If it's in flow or in a stream or something, like it does that momentarily to it, and you can see it kind of like blasts a chunk out of it, just like splashes across the wall, and the creature kind of like drops down to like maintain its form, and it's wobbling a little bit, like, and looking in the direction that its buddy just went, like the other weird, like it might want to be making its way back into the damn water pretty quickly.
So I'm not going to use the push thing because it's obviously against the wall. It just smashes against the wall. But I'm going to hit it again.
Yep.
For 20.
Hits.
And that guy. And
14 damage.
And then 20 points of damage. And I'm going in, like, as I walk forward, Koala can see me now as this hunched over, weird looking, like, thing. And I'm going, you shouldn't have hurt 4. And that's it. End of my attack.
Very nice. All right, cool. Next up, we have Doc Hobble.
Points of damage.
Okay, now the doctor has a plan. I'm going to use my hero point, if I may.
Okay.
My heroic inspiration. And
your heroic inspiration. So remember, they're two different things. One is regular inspiration that gives you advantage. One is your do something that's pushing it. Which one?
I'm doing something that's pushing it.
All right, so that's your hero point, not your heroic inspiration. So we'll give you that marker back. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to use it to surgically remove the relic, that is Maurice, from the water elemental using my giant scalpel.
Ooh, fun.
Okay, how do you want to do this?
By making
Surgically
incisions in strategic places in the water beast, so that he comes loose.
Okay, so this really does sound like surgery. So
have you ever done surgery on water before?
Yeah, like it's gonna be interesting.
I'm gonna be honest. Most of the people I've done surgery on have been mainly comprised of water.
It's true. It's a couple of solids here.
About 70.
Makes a really good point. Makes a really good point.
70% of it, right? Yeah, hey, good point. That's kind of hilarious. All right, I just need to look at a couple things. So I think that this is most likely going to be some kind of medicine check, right? Like,
okay.
Kind of has to be.
On those.
You do. You will need to shrink this. Actually, in this case, I don't think you need to shrink the scalpel.
No, because it's a big elemental, isn't it?
Yeah, large creature. You're trying to cut your friend free. Go ahead and roll medicine with advantage.
Okay, let's do this. Rolling! Let's not get snake eyes here. Nope. It's an 18.
Yep, cool, no problem. So with that, do you have 2 attacks per turn?
I do, actually.
Alright, go ahead and make those attacks.
Alrighty, I will. The first one is only 10.
That's not a hit, so go ahead and roll your other one.
Oh, crap.
Alright, cool. So you don't do any damage to the elemental in this process. I mean, you are just moving water, essentially, but you do manage to cut Maurice free, and he's able to kind of like, flop down into here. Now, Maurice, can you give me just a quick dexterity save to see if you fall prone as you get released or if you land on your feet?
Yep, I will do that now.
Thank you.
16.
No worries. You land on your feet, ready to fight. And Doc Hobble, do you have anything left, or is that it?
That
was your action?
Now. Yeah, and no one's really wounded to use my bonus action, so yeah, nothing fun to do.
Cool. No problem. In that case, Maurice, you land on your feet just in time for your turn.
All right. I was going to do Thunderstep,
Thunderstep.
but
Talk to me about Thunderstep.
I will hurt a lot of people, I'm thinking. Doc Hovel, is it a Drake?
Yes, it is a dragon.
Is he
pseudo dragon?
Yeah, is he someone that can be killed and come back?
She is, yes.
Hey,
Yes.
don't kill my dragon.
Well, I'm going to Thunderstep you, I think, and ask to move away. Because it'll do max damage.
Oh, the dragon.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But is it a pet or is it like an illusion?
It's a familiar.
Yeah, and I had
Okay. Yeah,
meant,
no, I don't want to kill that then. No.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
I had meant to say before that it's sitting on my shoulder, but we're probably past that since I've been doing surgery, and he's probably had to jump off.
Would I be able, because I can take someone with me, would I be able to take both Doc and the Drake?
Yeah.
Using my special point?
We'll say that Trax is on Doc's shoulder. So when you take Doc with you, yeah, you can use your hero point, absolutely. That'll make it even better.
Yeah. The only other issue I have though is Qualek. So I'd need to move closer to the creature so that I'm more than 10 feet away from him.
Yeah.
Would that create an attack of opportunity?
Not if you don't leave its range.
Okay, so I'm going to move in closer.
You can't actually
make
get
sure I'm-
closer, like into the. The elemental can move into your space. You might be able to move
That's what
into
I'm
it.
sort of thinking because I don't
But
want to attack Qualek by accident.
Yeah.
So now I'm 10 feet away because it's a 10-foot radius.
Mhm.
So what I'd like to do is cast Thunderstep.
You
at
are
level,
not 10 feet away from Quillet.
aren't I?
No, you're about 5.5.
Oh, because I'm doing
We're
the ruler
using-
and it's saying.
We're using
Oh.
Euclidean measurements, not 5 foot per diagonal or 5 to 5.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So can I move further into the creature?
Sure, but there might be some risk involved.
All right. This really isn't the best idea then. I thought it was good. I'm just going to.
I'm not saying it won't work. I'm just saying there might be some risk.
Oh, I want to do it. It's cool. I'm going to do it. Yeah.
Hero
I wanna
pointing,
do
so
it.
it could mitigate some risk too. So,
Oops,
like, yeah,
sorry.
All right.
do it.
I want to move in enough that
Yep.
I can get Quilak out of the radius. So it looks like
Yep.
maybe now.
Yep,
Yep.
it should be fine there.
And I'm wanting,
I will
if
call
I
it
get
good
trapped
enough.
in this thing, yep. What I'm wanting to is to go towards the other corner of the room. So towards towards the west.
Yep.
Yeah, in the corner. And I want to thunderclap and take Doc Hovel with me. So,
So you're trying to go across to the other room that the others are in, like the far corner?
yeah, because I can't
Yeah.
see anywhere else really.
Yep, no, that's fine.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that
Go
at
ahead
level
and-
5.
Cool. Go ahead and chuck Thunderstep through into the game log for me. It's been a minute.
Yep. 31, but I think I'm going to use my empowered spell
Yep.
and re-roll some of them.
All right,
So
so
I
you
can
can
re-roll-
choose any of them to
Yep.
re-roll. You've got 2 2s in there. The rest are really high.
Roll the 2 2s. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll just... Alright,
Go
so
ahead.
I've got 10 plus 9 plus 8.
That's
Right,
27.
I'm going to re-roll 2. Yep. D10 times 2. Roll again. They're even worse.
So 30 30 damage in total.
Yep.
So can you also pop the spell description through for me, please, to send it to game log?
Yep. How do I do that?
Thank you.
Just...
There should be somewhere on the
click on
spell panel on the right. There should be a send to game log button up the top.
Okay, let me have a look.
So if you click on the spell, panel opens on the right with the spell description.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do it here.
Sometimes it doesn't
Oh,
go
yes,
up.
there you go.
Yep, got
That's, I
Nice,
think that's
well
come
done.
up. Yep.
Yep,
And then
cool.
I don't think I have any bonus actions that will do anything good. which is something I want to fix. Yeah, the only thing I could do is telepathic speech, but I don't really need to. Yeah, that's it. I'm happy to be out of there.
Boom. All right, so you and Doc Hobble both teleport to the corner of the room over here. Trax goes with you. Boom, boom. And that's the only creature left. So Constitution saving throw, DC 18. Can't save. All right, and what was it? 30 damage.
Yeah.
With a resounding. This thing takes all 30 damage. Yeah, great big kaboom. And you and Doc Hobble teleport away. Now, because you hero pointed this, what I want to say is Maurice used Thunderstep. It was really effective. This thing is not looking good. It's like you've managed to like blast apart whatever was holding its water molecules together, and it's having a hard time keeping its cohesion. So that was really well done. But then I do also want a Constitution saving throw from you from stepping into the water as you did this.
Okay, yep.
You're not going to get stuck because you're teleporting away, but there might be a little damage.
Okay, can I please use a luck point?
Why don't you roll and see if you succeed first? Because luck you can call
don't
after.
I have to call it first? Oh,
no,
cool.
luck you're allowed to call. Luck's one of the few things where you can call it after. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I got 20.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, right. You're fine. You will take 6 bludgeoning damage as it tries to like wallop you just as you're casting the spell, and it kind of batters you a little bit, but you teleport away. So you resisted the damage with your save. Boom. So 6 damage, and you guys are safe and sound over there. And it is now Qualek's turn.
It's Qualek's turn. What am I going to do? All right. So this stuff happens. It's very, very loud because we're in confined quarters. But Qualek would like to do something fun just because I have it on my character sheet and I want to use it. How high is the ceiling, and how high are the pipes above the water?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds and I can tell you. I just need to pull those. I haven't pulled those notes back up yet. Send to the restart. That is all there. Oops. That page.
By the way, I like being a sorcerer.
Yeah, it's fun, hey? So 10 feet high in passageways, Sven, and 15 feet high in rooms.
15 feet
let me just double check that this room doesn't have an exception written into it. This is the fountain room. No, this is 15 feet high as well.
All right, Qualek, here's what I want to do. I want to step into the room. I want to take a chance, climb up Flower Child's back, even though he's super weird right now. I want to spring off of Flower Child and grab hold of the pipes, and then I want to crawl along the pipes like a commando crawl, like upside down.
Okay. So climbing, jumping, holding on to things. I know you might think that sounds like acrobatics, but it's really not. That's all athletics, buddy.
Yes.
So give me an athletics check.
I'm right there with you. Okay, athletics check. Okay.
Boom. Nat 20.
Boom.
All of that goes off without a hitch.
Oh, I should also mention Qualek has a climbing speed.
Oh, well, then you didn't need to roll.
Okay. So it's
I'll call it that nat 20 is like that's how well you have gripped on once you're there and whatever you're doing. Like if there's any kind of thing that might knock you off, like that's your save against it.
All right. So is that going to be 30 feet to get over to Nya?
Yeah, up and across it. Yeah, if that's 30 feet.
All right.
Across, then you can go all the way there. What I will say, however, is that you are going to leave this water weird's reach as you climber across the pipes that way, and it is going to try and hit you with water surge.
Yeah, man. Go for it.
Let me have a look. See, that's a hit.
Yeah. Oh wait, what did you roll?
I'll tell you after you tell me what you want to do.
Oh, okay.
You've been hit. Do you want a shield or?
I don't have shield spell prepared. I don't think. No, I've got mage armor prepared. I did not prepare the shield spell. That's okay.
Is mage armor reflected in your current AC on your character?
It is, yes.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So yeah, you've been hit. That's a 14 cold damage. Now, ordinarily, this attack would grapple and restrain you, but because you've hero pointed and you've got that nat 20, it's not going to be able to. Like, it tries to get a grip, but you're too quick and you can finish clambering across the pipes.
So you said 14 points of damage?
Yep, cold damage.
All right, I'm going to use my Hadozi dodge. So
nice.
basically, he can use his feet to help him climb. So he, as this thing sort of like reaches out towards him, he actually lets go of his hands momentarily and like hangs upside down. He's still going to take a little bit of damage. I can reduce it by 1d6 plus 4. So let's roll that.
Awesome.
All right. So 4 by 7 points of damage. So I'm going to take 7 points of damage.
Cool. Very nice.
Right, so 7 points of damage. So he does take a little bit of damage, but pretty much halves it. Get to there. Then he's going to let go, fall to the ground, and then he's going to use his action to move.
No problem.
To dash.
Falling to the ground, 10 feet, 15, just a little 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
if you're dropping.
5 points of bludgeoning damage. Okay, all right.
Yeah. I won't make you go prone.
How high am I?
I won't be that mean.
15 feet?
15 up, so it's, yeah.
All right. Then...
Oh, you can glide. Never mind. No, you're fine.
I've got to glide.
Sorry, Hadozi.
As part of that.
You're all
So
good.
when he tucked his little fucking robe, it sort of exposed these two little skin flaps that sort of hang out to the side. So first of all, he lets go of his hands again, hangs upside down for a moment, and then lets go of his feet to allow the momentum to like catch some of the wind, and you see him like sugar glide towards the south, towards that other hallway over there. So that's going to be 5, 10, 15 feet to there. He's trying to follow this pipe here. It disappears into that wall, so he's going to
you can see the corridor goes about 10 feet down. You can see a door on the right-hand side.
25, 30.
Yeah. There's also another door to the south that seems to be locked. That's the one with the padlock. Cool. So you're there at that door. It's very much the same as the other doors you've encountered so far. The stone with iron banding. No apparent lock mechanism or anything like that.
Very good. All right. I had fun with that turn. I got to glide. I got to climb. I did everything Hadozi does.
Oh yeah. Also that little glide action. Let's see a monkey do that.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. Sons of bitches.
Mark, can I ask for next time? Could I have used shield to react to the damage that was done?
To the thing where you were bound up in the water elemental?
No, when I sort of did the thunderclap and I got injured.
Theoretically, no, it didn't make an attack so much as it. I just made something up, but I probably should have made that an attack roll. In which case, you would have been able to shield against it. Shield is used against attack rolls, and it boosts your AC.
Oh, yep.
Stop getting it in the first place. Yeah, cool. So
no worries.
Yeah, I'll maybe do that a bit differently next time.
Yeah, bananas. I'm still learning, so.
Yeah. All right, the water weird. Which one? This one right next to Flower Child. I'm gonna Flower Child. Oh, you've hit this thing a couple of times now, haven't you, Sevs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. It's yeah. All right. It wants to drown you apparently, so it's going to try and do so.
Cool.
Unfortunately, it does not hit. And so at which point it is going to, again, retreat into the water. Now, I believe you've already used your reaction.
No, I haven't.
No? Oh, you've had a turn since all that fuckery. Yeah, all right. Well, would you like to attack it as it tries to flee into the water?
I will, yes.
Excellent.
Oh.
That's definitely a hit.
15.
and before it sinks into the water, you swipe your adamantine bar, this massive pipe thing that you've got on you, straight through it and just completely obliterate whatever's left of it. That is one dead water weird. And with that, it's Auntie Lizzie's turn.
Excellent. I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna use my dash to so 15 feet to get down here, and then another sort of 40 feet to get over here.
So we'll just say that as you move down into that corner like that, you will have noticed that the passageway that was heading out to the east there are a set of stairs descending to a door.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
And I can only really get to here with Qualic, but I can. Yeah, so I'm gonna. Yeah, that's my turn. I've used my action. With my bonus action, I'm going to do nothing. I'm not going to use my bonus action.
All right, no problem. It is the water elemental's turn next. Let's see if it gets this one back. It does not. It gets multi-attack though. Right, so the water elemental again comes surging back through the doorway, sort of like straight over you, Flower Child, and then lands back in the water, and turns to face you and starts slamming into you with the watery pseudopods. Trying to do as much damage as it can.
Yeah, fair play.
Hit.
Yeah, he gets advantage anyway.
Yeah. I didn't even roll with advantage, so let's crit fish. No crit. So 14 bludgeoning damage on the first one, which of course you'll halve. But you are now prone. Knocks you prone on the first one. Again, second attack, still just advantage. That will also hit for a further 15, half to 7. And that's all it really manages to do to you. And then it is going to move away over in this direction. It probably can't get too far. It's still sort of like hovering over the top of the water. And it's just like, and it's pointing these pseudopods in two directions, one towards the door you came in and one towards the passageway to the north. It's like frantically like pointing in either of those directions and just at you. You can't understand a word it's saying, but all right, with that, we're back to the top of another round. How are we feeling?
Pretty good. I think we need to stop though.
Yeah, we will need to stop.
Yeah. All right, sweet.
No.
Well, we will leave it there. We'll pick up next week with it is the Water Weed's turn, just so you know, next, and then Flower Child 4. But thank you very much, folks. It's been wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no
Awesome.
problem.
Thank you.
I've thoroughly enjoyed this.
Yes, it was a very good.
I've like it's the first time I've really got to use the Hadozi skills in such a way. I thought this was a perfect opportunity. Thank you for the bardic inspiration, by the way, Kiran.
Did you use it?
Ooh.
No, I haven't used it yet.
I haven't used mine either.
I think I think Sevs has a bardic inspiration. I think Elric has a bardic inspiration. Only one who doesn't have it yet is Maurice.
Yeah,
correct.
And I mean, he doesn't need it. All right.
Awesome.
The ending spiel. Yes. This has been Vecna Eva Ruin. We play this game every Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you join us again on Twitch next week. This episode will be uploaded to YouTube sometime during the next week, so you can catch up. And don't forget, we also have Back in Blackest Night, which is our Curse of Strahd actual play. We have that on Monday nights. That's available on YouTube if you want to catch up. We are going to be doing episode 10 next Monday. And, I mean, I'm going to be putting up last night's episode sometime during this week, and that was a clutch combat. So you can't miss that one. Even if you just watch that one, that's all you watch. That's totally fine.
I've heard some stories. I'm going to have to go have a look.
Yeah, and you can also catch the podcast version of that as well. If you like to listen to D&D while you drive, you don't have YouTube Premium, you can find it on Spotify. Please help us out by giving a like, share, follow, subscribe, or whatever you do on your particular type of platform. Everything you do goes towards helping us grow this amazing gaming community and spread the fun of fighting water weirds shit. So,
Oh yeah.
thanks everyone for playing Dungeons and Dragons with me. Thanks Mark for being a Dungeon Master. Looking forward to see you all again next week.
Thanks again to Tabletop Audio for the ambiance. Peace.
Bye.
Good night everybody.
Bye.
See you next week.
See ya.
Bye bye.